Michael Oliver took centre stage yesterday to screw Liverpool over. Mo Salah breaks even more records, and Joe Gomez could be out for the season. You see me with two familiar faces. They say you wait ages for a bus and then two come along at once. 2 weeks in a row. Tom Little, Hassam, welcome to Kopish Kollab. Let's get into it.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Good evening. Rob's, close it, please. Cheers, mate. Good evening, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. But also, in the title of this video on YouTube, you'll see a link to Tom's channel and to Hassam's channel. Go and show the boys some love and go and support them. Tom, how are you? Hassam, I won't ask how you are because I've seen some of your YouTube shorts today based from yesterday. Crazy. Tom, how are you, bro?
I've been better. I've enjoyed football slightly more than you know in the past. I've had a higher opinion of certain referees and the PGMOL as an organisation in the past. We should have the biggest thing over Everton. We should have the final ever derby win at Goodison Park. We should have more wins than them at Goodison Park. But instead, Michael Oliver had to make it all about himself and managed to ruin what was an important 3 points for us. So thank you very much, Michael. Just, as you do.
Hassam, before I come to you, I've gone into content full time. I'm trying to provide for my family and stuff. So, yeah, I just don't want to get shut down, bro. How are you feeling about yesterday's game?
No, I feel good. Listen, I'm not gonna say anything mad. I feel just as bad the day later. It is what it is like. But we're here, and yeah. I'm pissed off still. I'll try to control myself for this channel not getting cancelled.
Thank you. I'll be honest with you guys. The last time I felt like this, the morning after a Liverpool game, would probably, maybe Champions League final against Real Madrid.
But you said the draw is okay.
Say again?
You said the draw is okay.
No, don't do that, Hassam. Don't do that.
You did? Am I lying?
No, I knew Hassam was going to bring this up.
Am I lying?
How have I become the person to attack today? Is this what's happening?
Am I lying, Tom? Am I lying? You're a witness. Did you not say draw is okay?
My exact words were,
if we go 7 points ahead, he said
if we draw the game, it is not the end of the world. But I did say I'd probably crash out because of how the draw would come. I predicted a 2-2. And I also said the referee is going to have a point to play in this game. The reason why I'm annoyed at the draw is because of how the draw happened. But I did think through a draw because every time we go to Goodison Park, the referee turns into the 12th man for the Blues side. And yesterday was no different. You can't beat 12
I'm sorry,
men.
I just read that super chat and I just can't. I'm sorry.
I might not read out, but that is brilliant. I can't lie.
That's hilarious.
I've said, you can't beat a team when one team has 11 players, the other has 12, and one of them's got a whistle in his hand and cards in his pocket. Can't do
First of all, respect Tom and myself and put yourself bottom row. Respect your guests. And number two,
must be you, Hassam.
Welcome, guys. Like and subscribe. Listen, yesterday's game for me was dictated almost 100% by Michael Oliver. He ruined all our momentum. He ruined any chance of us getting momentum. And I'm not even just making it up. I haven't complained about referees all year long, but I think this game, I have every right to complain about the referee because that performance was absolutely dreadful for Michael Oliver. He didn't keep the energy consistent. Liverpool had 65% possession and 20 fouls. Everton had 9 fouls. And I watched the compilation this morning of all the fouls that weren't given against Everton. It was just an absolute disgrace. The goal, the goal that they scored, both goals that they scored should have been ruled off, because the first goal, to be honest with you, wasn't like it was a foul. It wasn't a foul, and the foul was given to begin with. And the second goal, there's a clear push on Konate from Beto, who could have literally won the header for the goal, and a foul is not given, and it's absolutely disgraceful. And the offside, as Tom said, I'm not even sure that he's onside to begin with, so I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's just an absolutely dreadful thing. I think we still should have defended better for both goals. I mean, the first goal way too easy, second goal way too easy as well. Like, obviously, if we want to talk about the football element of things, we should have defended better. The second goal as well, probably should have cleared it, but I'm not going to do the Mike Das and say, oh, we cleared it, and then I'm mad that we didn't clear it at the same time. So like, I think I wanted us to clear it at that time, but I don't even know why the game was played till the 98th minute to begin with. Like, that's the thing. That's another.
Mike, that's just catch us straight for no reason.
Yeah, Mike is a fraud. We all know this. But anyway, I don't know why the game was played at the 98th minute to begin with. Like, 98th minute as well. And like, even the head clash, it lasted for a minute, and it's just absolute BS, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's us against the world now, as per usual. So
can I address something before I come to ask you a question, Tom? For anyone saying, why can't I say Liverpool were poor or Liverpool, I've said Liverpool didn't play very well yesterday, but I think two things can be right at the same time. You might not be at your best, but we were winning that game 2-1. And if anyone can tell me a game where, or a season where every team has, or a team has been at their best in every single game, then do tell, because you win leagues because you can play badly or not play to your optimum and still get 3 points. That's what champions do. That's what I've been taught growing up. That's what I've seen growing up. So this notion that you can't be at your best, then you can't blame the ref if you were playing at your best, is crazy. Plus, I think Hassam's just broken it down perfectly. You cannot get to rhythm. You cannot do what you want to do as a football team when every time you have the ball, the referee is blowing up or the opposition is kicking you about and there's no foul for it. Idrissa Gana Gueye should have been sent off. Should have been sent off. 2 yellow cards. But then if I'm going to be fair, you know what? Conor Bradley could have been potentially sent off as well. So I'll keep the same energy. Konate, in my opinion, that was a handball. Should have been given a penalty for Everton. I can live with that.
No, I don't
no,
know if you've seen
it was a Beto handball.
It's Beto's hand.
Okay, fair enough. I would have given a handball for a penalty, but fair enough if you guys don't agree. But the first goal was the free kick. So they don't even get the goal if there's no free kick. Not to mention, in the first minute of the game, Gakpo's taken out. Nothing done there. Diaz is taken out just by the halfway line. Nothing done there. The amount of times players were taken out, the amount of times people were fouled and nothing happened, and the amount of times McAllister was deemed to have given away a foul but didn't touch anyone. And Dai actually injures himself kicking the floor, but Szoboszlai has given a foul against him. Throughout the whole game, you cannot build rhythm and you cannot get into a flow state of football when someone continuously blows the whistle and gives the ball to the other team. It is crazy. I don't understand why that is so illogical for people to understand.
I've never known such a foul difference considering we were the dominant team. I've never known a team dominate possession and concede over double the amount of fouls as the other team.
Tom, the foul on Salah at the end.
Oh yeah, that was fine. But God forbid McAllister walks near someone. That's a foul. You know, Diaz committed 6 fouls yesterday. 6. And 4 of them were for the same thing that Beto done on Konate at the end.
Yeah.
It's just it's the double standards that's the most frustrating bit. At the end, someone done the math on it. There was a foul given because, you know, the ball's only in play for like 50 odd minutes in the game. There was a foul given every like 80 odd seconds. You cannot build a rhythm if it's stop-start every 80 seconds, or there's a player going down, or there's time wasting, or this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, did we play well? No, we've played better this season. Do we ever really play well at Goodison? No. The only time I've seen us batter Everton at Goodison Park was when Benitez was the manager. And we were singing Benitez chants, and they hated their manager. That's the only time I've seen us batter Everton at Goodison Park in the last 10, 15 years. Since then, it's been tight, nervy, edgy, tetchy. And you know what? It was that yesterday. But we were 2-1 up in the 97th minute, and the referee took it from us. That's where the anger is. That's where the frustration comes from. Because do I think we played well? No, but we deserve to win that game. We deserve to win that football match based on how it went. The moment we went 2-1 up, we had control. We had complete control of that game. I know people say, oh, in extra time it went. In extra time, they had 2 shots, both of which from miles out, which Alisson saved one and the other one was nowhere near. And they were putting in desperate crosses from here, there, and everywhere, trying to get anything going. That was controlled. Yeah. You can control a game without having the ball because you control the situations your opponents have it in. We had control of that game until Michael Oliver stepped in. That's the part that got me. And there was it's not fully on, the referee played a massive part in it. I think Arne Slot made one big mistake yesterday. He made one big mistake. Jota came on when it shouldn't have been Jota. It should have been Wataru. And that's a mistake he's made multiple times this season.
It should have been Kwanzaa.
I don't think Kwanzaa would have survived that game.
But
I don't think that's a game for Kwanzaa.
They weren't playing through our midfield, so I think we needed extra height at the back. I love Endo. Endo's been really good this season. He really has.
Know what, though,
Did you just say bring on Kwanzaa?
Yeah, we needed someone.
I've seen.
And what if he mistaked Branthwaite for Astrid? Then what? Then we concede the goal, and you're all sad. That game was not a Kwanzaa game. I agree with Tom. That was an Endo game. We should have brought on Endo. I'll be honest with you, 100%.
Bring it because Endo's street smart, so we can win fouls. Who knows if Endo gets the ball with 2 minutes to go, he's the kind of guy who just throw his body in front of Jack Harrison, win a foul, waste 30 seconds.
If Kwanzaa comes on, we lose the game 3-2. By the way,
no, we don't.
Thank God you're not the manager. You brought him on. Could have been handled the Plymouth forwards.
Also, as a can drop in at centre back and win his aerial duels. I've seen up against fucking Paul Onuachu, 6'7" from Southampton, win every single aerial duel against him. I have no doubt that if he was put up against Tim Iraboga, whatever his name is, he would have won that header. So that's the mistake that Slot made, and it's a mistake he's made a couple of times this season. Newcastle away, Manchester United at home, Everton. Three games this year where I think he should have brought Wataru Endo on, and he hasn't. And it's cost us in the end. But that, for me, is the only real major mistake that he made. I thought Everton went in there with a game plan to stop us creating through the middle, so Ryan Gravenberch didn't have anywhere near enough influence on the game. And that was why he was probably the first sub, and we started going out wide. The problem was when you went out wide, we struggled to create much out wide anyway.
Yeah, Gakpo stank yesterday, man.
Gakpo struggled, and then when Diaz went out wide, bar one moment, he wasn't much better. And it wasn't like he could give the ball to Salah to create out wide, because Salah had to drop deep to pick it up and create for a bit deeper. So Everton done a decent job at nullifying us, but we still got our 2 goals. And we were defending fine until the referee stepped in, and that's the part that gets me. If that final goal from Everton hadn't had the controversy that it did, let's say Canate slipped instead of getting pushed, and it carried on the same way, there probably wouldn't be the same anger towards the referee. There'd be a bit of the first goal shouldn't have counted type thing. But the first goal, whilst it shouldn't have counted, fuck me, what was our defending there? We just stood there and watched Beto run off us. So there wouldn't have been that anger there. But it's the fact that you're watching that last goal and the same thing that you've been calling up every single time in the game. Gakpo done it. Diaz done it. Salah done it. Nunes done it. Every time we've done it near their centre-backs, foul. The moment they do it to our centre-back, it's waved on. And then the carry on at the end, Arnie Slot getting sent off for telling the ref he played a good game. The fact the referees... The fact the referees in
Michael Oliver had the worst moment with Pep Guardiola, didn't send him off.
Yeah.
I think putting Michael Oliver
you can't send off your employers, bro.
Exactly. Listen, Michael Oliver for this game was just a horrible decision to begin with after what happened against Wolves. Like, he's already coming in rattled. He's already coming in not that sure of himself. He's already coming in a bad moment, and then you give him the game in the Premier League historically that has had the most red cards in it, like ever. Like, it's just an absolutely horrible decision to give him the derby, in my opinion, to begin with. And I genuinely think like that we would have, like, actually won the game had he just done his job properly. If he gives the foul on Salah towards the end, you know, Trent scores the free kick, maybe not, even if he doesn't score it, like still the game's done at that time. The game's done.
Realistically, let's say he doesn't score it,
And
we get a
also,
corner.
and also, like after Everton attacked once, and it was like the 97th minute. I don't know why he didn't blow the whistle straight away. Like he's like, oh, let's just wait until like Everton score. The Microsoft Paint lines that they drew for the offside as well, I don't trust them 100% that that wasn't offside to begin with.
No,
So like
it's-
everything that
it's showing
happened
it
in the
was
game
offside.
was just absolute BS, to be honest with you. Clear
Yeah.
fouls on Salah. You know, people say, oh, Bradley should have been sent off. Yeah, but the first one wasn't even a yellow card to begin with. Just give him a yellow card because the Everton fans were riled up. Idris Ganagay should have been sent off. So there's a lot of things that happened in that game. And listen, I really haven't complained about refs all game, all year long. Like I haven't said a single negative thing about referees all year long. But this game, I think, was like strictly dictated by him, because had he just done his job properly, we end up with the 3 points. And I just know that the Premier League is going to give him another Liverpool game, probably away at the Etihad or something like
no,
this.
Hassan. You know, you do know he's getting Liverpool Arsenal.
Yeah. No, but I think for that one, because like for the Arsenal thing, he probably
that would probably be a
Just
balanced game because he
just
hates
hates
both of us.
He just hates
Yeah.
both. No, there'll be
Yeah.
no fouls given in that game. There'll
Yeah,
be no
yeah.
fouls.
Just a
You can just do
free-for-all.
what you want. He lost control of that game within the first 10 minutes. And all you need
First
to
10
do-
minutes, first minute, bro. First
Yeah,
minute.
the first
Gakpo
minute.
gets upended and he does nothing about it.
But the big thing was the end of the half, the final 10 minutes of the half. He doesn't give the Idrissa Gana Gay red card, and he panics. And then out of the 5 bookings that were given in that half, I'm pretty sure 4 of them came in the last 10 minutes after the Idrissa Gana Gay thing, where he went, "Oh fuck, I've got to balance it out now." And he started giving yellow cards for stuff that wasn't yellow cards. That's a referee who's lost control of the game. And the fact of the matter is, it didn't get any better in the second half. Sam actually said it best. The man has been under a lot of stress after the Wolves game. He's had stuff that shouldn't be happening to any man happen to him in terms of death threats and threats to his family and stuff, completely uncalled for. So you, as an organisation, the PGMOL needs to do its safeguarding and not put him in the most high intensity fixture of the weekend. There are referees who could handle that game this weekend or this week. There are referees who have confidence at the minute to deal with that game, to deal with that situation. Michael Oliver's not that referee at the minute. And you just saw
I agree.
it was the typical scared referee performance. The crowd's on my back. Let me just give everything to the home team. And so many decisions.
He actually gave Everton everything as well. Like, it's not like we're waffling. He really did. How the hell does the team with 35% possession have 9 fouls against them, and the team with 65% possession have 20 fouls against them? Like, what? Did we just keep kicking them while we have the ball or something? Like, it just makes no sense. Some of these decisions yesterday were absolutely atrocious. We can talk about the football as well, because it was 90% Michael Oliver, but I think we should have defended both goals better, in my opinion. And listen, we have to apologize to Mo. We have to. How much did you give him yesterday? Did you give him an Alcantara? We should apologize to Mo. You get me? Because
I missed a lot of the player ratings, but I think the boys settled on giving him a 9 out of 10 yesterday.
This is like another game where he literally wins us, like Newcastle away, and we just fuck it up at the end. Like, it's just
Salah and Maka
must be if I'm in his place, I would be so like jarred right now. I'd genuinely be so jarring. I think the 2 players that deserve credit from that game, 3 players, Salah, McAllister, those 2 were the best players on the pitch. Curtis Jones just because fighting the core. Well in lad, let's go. You know, I love that shit.
But when it comes to game he played as well, he actually came on a good game. Apart from the first tackle, he got a yellow card. Apart from that, I think he was good.
Say that again. Sorry, who?
Curtis Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm talking more like starters. The starters, no one impressed me, not a single one. Other than those 2, I thought Gravenberch had a bad game. I thought Soboslai was average. Gakpo was non-existent. Diaz was average. And you know, like pretty much it was just Salah and McAllister, really. Like those are the 2 ones that just stepped up.
I think Konate's a weird one because I thought he done very well, but both goals you see him miss a moment. But outside of that,
I think Konate has been unfairly dragged for this game. The first goal, that's not on Konate. That's on Virgil. The Beto runs off Virgil on Konate's blind side. Virgil shouldn't be screaming at Konate to get back. Virgil should get himself back. He sees the run, sprint back, and give yourself the best chance of getting it. That's not on Konate. The second one, we've all agreed that Konate was pushed when he's gone up for the header. So this notion that Konate could have done better for both
You
goals,
say
he couldn't
pushed,
have done
I
better
say
for both.
speared like it was prime edge in 2009.
Yeah.
Cashed the
Like,
money in the bank.
I really do feel like if I'm not mistaken, Konate won all of his aerial duels yesterday. This notion that Beto bullied Konate yesterday, I'm sorry, I don't see how he bullied Konate.
The notion has come from the commentary. Hassan won't have TNT Sports. He's got a blessing because he doesn't have to listen to Rio Ferdinand and Ali
Thank God. Thank God.
over everything for the whole game. I've never seen more biased commentary in my life. They're sitting there in the first 5 minutes going, I hope Beto starts ragging Van Dijk by the air and everything. And then when we do it, oh, you don't want to see that in the game. That's wrong. That Iliman Ndiaye goes down without getting touched 3 times. Oh, that's smart from him. He's won the foul there. Dominic Szoboszlai goes down under contact from Mikalenko in the box. Oh, that's embarrassing, that. Trying to con the referee into giving a penalty away. That's an embarrassing. Honest. And he was gagging for it, Rio. He was gagging for that Everton goal at the end. He was desperate for it.
But what do we expect? He's an ex-Man United player.
You know, Tom, if I'm in your place, I could give you a recommendation. Come watch Hussam's watch along as commentary instead, because it's a lot more entertaining, and a lot more pro Liverpool. You get me? There was a guy in my chat who was like, "I've had enough of this commentary so much that I'm just watching your stream and just putting the commentary off." I'm like, "Yay, that's a smart decision to make, mate."
Honestly,
you know, because I've seen this before. Like sometimes I have to watch games in English commentary. And I've seen it before, and I agree with Tom. Like they just start creaming over every single. Like it's just so irritating, bro. And it's not just that guy; it's the other guys, well, the Sky guy, Martin Tyler, and others. Like every time, like something happens again, Martial. His voice broke when United scored against us.
When Liverpool scored, Liverpool scored to make it 2-0.
Christian Benteke scored goal of the season in the same game. You're going, oh wow,
what a goal from Benteke!
Yeah. No, it's a joke, man. Hassam, I want to ask you a question. Because as soon as you came onto the stream, you attacked me.
Oh,
we're 7 points clear now. You said yesterday was a must-win game. So did Matt. 7 points clear, top of the league. Played the same amount of games as Arsenal, who've just lost another player to injury, who I believe will be out for the season. We've obviously lost one as well. I'll speak about Joe Gomez later with you guys. How are you feeling 7 points clear at the top of the table?
It's okay, we have Konsa, apparently.
We got Endo, man. Calm.
PTSD is real. I am worried. I don't even lie. I am worried a little bit. Like, we have 4 difficult fixtures coming up. We got Wolves at home, we got Villa away, we got City away, and we got Newcastle. Now it's fair to say we have to win all 4, and I'm not even joking. Like, we actually have to win all 4. And yesterday I saw a side that I just hate. Like I saw this like this energy from some certain Liverpool players that I just doesn't exude confidence at all in me. Like I wish everyone just had Mo's mentality. I'd put my nuts on the table right now and say we're gonna win the league. But like, you know, you have that like winning edge, you know, that like clutchness, like Salah has it, McAllister has it to an extent. I thought Gakpo showed it in spurts this season, but I just wish we had a bit more balls. Like I just wish we had a bit more, like, you know, we are here, we're the villains. We need a bit of like that villain sprinkle, you know, like we need like 2 assholes in this team. Like we really need 2 assholes. Like we need we need just like a little bastard in this team. You know, someone like a Fabinho as well. Like very good footballer, but one of the biggest assholes on the pitch. Like just tackling the fuck out of you. I love that shit. You know, Robertson before he he forgot how to cross a football. He was that as well.
I think Virgil's got that in him though. We saw what he did to Richarlison at Spurs, where he puts the hand out to shake it.
I think our
so Shibu, you say that in the chat, but if I say something about you now and like one of your family members, you're gonna get upset, right, Shibu? I'm not saying anything. I'm not on Mo's dick. I'm just saying that the guy has a mentality, and I give an example of Robertson.
Sorry. Let me make this clear from now, guys. I think everyone, you know how this channel runs by now. Shibu, that's your last chance, bro. I'm very happy to block people. In fact, I get a little adrenaline rush from doing it. So please don't give me an excuse, bro. So let's not do that again.
Just because I said Salah and McAllister had the mentality from yesterday, guess what they did?
I'm very
were they not our best performers? They were.
Yeah, I'm very big on if you wouldn't say something to someone's face, don't write it behind the keyboard, especially when you have time to think about it on a keyboard. So Shibu, you know how it goes, bro. You can laugh all you want, Shibu, but it doesn't make you look or sound tough. In fact, quite the opposite. It makes you sound like a little bee, but I won't say the full word. But we can all use our imagination. But
you're really trying to keep that monetization now, aren't you?
yeah.
Listen, I've actually been, and Callum knows and Tom knows because they worked with me long enough. Listen, I've been quite calm this stream. I haven't even said anything mad. But if I'm propping up the best player in the world for having great mentality and that upsets you, then you have a bigger problem than me. The thing is, at the end of the day,
sorry,
I'm
another
talking
one.
about...
Also, if people think, "Oh, man up is just a comment," just don't comment.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
Also,
comment.
when you say man up, you're telling me I'm on someone's dick. Like there's that. You're not like rebuttaling anything I've said. Anyway, back to the point.
As we were saying.
Yeah, as we were saying, like I really wanted like that killer instinct, you know. And when I say like I brought up Cody earlier on, I think Cody Gakpo has shown it in spurts this season. I'll give you a perfect example: Man United. Man United at home, Cody shown it. Leicester at home, Cody shown it. And I know, like, obviously yesterday was a bit of a tactical problem as well, because I feel like we didn't get the ball to Gakpo and Mo enough to begin with. Both of them, it's not just a Mo thing. Like, we didn't give them the ball enough to create something. And I'll be honest with you, as much as I've, like, apologized to the Colombians and as much as I have no problem with Diaz this season, I don't personally think that this was the game for Diaz. Like, just was not. And if you planned on, like, if you planned on playing the ball long ball, you should have went to Nunez. Like, you should have went to Nunez as well. And everyone knows I'm not a fan of Nunez at all. But if you wanted to go the long ball route, then play in like a forward that can actually win balls in the air. Because poor Diaz was up against 2 7-foot monsters. You know, he's never gonna win a header against them. You know, in a million years. So that's the thing I think about. I think we just approached the whole game the wrong way. And I think, like, obviously, like, Leverkusen playing Diaz false 9, it makes sense. Everton, it does not. We know the way that they're going to play. Like, we just know the way that they're going to operate. And I think, like, we really should be doing better. We genuinely should be doing better, in my opinion. So, like, I'm just in a position now where you say, okay, are we going to win the league? And you said it's a must-win game, etc. And I'm just saying, listen, I'm not going to answer the question now. I'm just waiting like 4 games. I just want to see where we're at away after the Etihad game. After the Etihad game, these next 3 fixtures, Wolves, Villa, Etihad. After that, I'll have a better sense. And also, to be fair, maybe us as Liverpool fans, sometimes we need a bit of reassurance. If Arsenal drop points to Leicester and West Ham as an example, I know people say it's over, it's done. Yeah, but like if they drop points the next 2 games, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. Now I feel a lot more confident. So yeah.
Look, the PTSD that certain Liverpool fans have has a massive asterisk in the fact that we were being chased by arguably the greatest English team in Premier League history in Manchester City in the previous times, or we were chasing Manchester City in previous times. Arsenal are not that team. Arsenal right now are going to have to go to. They're going away to Forest, away to Man United, and at home to Chelsea, with 2 Champions League round of 16 games sandwiched in between those games, with a front 3 of Nwaneri, Sterling, and Trossard. I don't think they get maximum points from this run.
Yeah, but you're missing the point, Tom. Their next 2 games, whether they have their full lineup or not, you expect them to beat Leicester away. You expect them to beat West Ham.
Yeah.
Because they're both crap sides. You get me? They're both crap sides. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they do drop points in 2 games that they are expected to win, I'd be a lot more confident in my opinion.
I'm not worried about our mentality, because I know that we were talking about mentality. I'm not necessarily worried about our mentality. I think Goodison's always a shit game. I saw a lot of fight from those players yesterday. I we can talk about the way that we played, and Everton notified us. I think certain players, I'm not saying everyone played well. Certain players, I think Szoboszlai seemed to struggle a little bit in the atmosphere. A lot of his touches were loose. He wasn't necessarily winning his duels, etc. But in terms of, Ibu Konate...
Would it be fair to say we played the occasion, Tom, a little bit?
We played the occasion.
Because every time we actually played football, we done something dangerous.
We tried to avoid...
The thing is,
we couldn't avoid playing the occasion because of Michael Oliver. We couldn't get... We couldn't quiet that crowd down because of Oliver. and the way that was
I
going.
do
So
agree with that.
it swings in roundabouts in that way. Look, I thought yesterday
Guys,
became
us three are
result.
not three who make excuses. I'm sorry to interrupt, Tom, but us three are not three who make excuses. We call out our players, we call out the manager, we call out FSG, we call out everyone. But I'll be honest with you, after yesterday's game, it's very difficult to like say a player didn't
Yeah.
do this when we were literally out of there with 3 points. Like
I
we were
said that
out, guys.
yesterday. I said I
Like
can't
genuinely, like
I
and I speak for Callum and Tom. We're not shy of calling out players. We can say this guy
Yeah.
should have done better, that guy should have done better. We just said Gravenberg had a bad game, he got subbed off, whatever. Like we're not the type of people to like excuse players, but at the same time, it just feels so draining because we were out of there with 3 points. We have 1 win in 7 at Goodison, and it felt like 2 wins in 8, and I was just so happy. And then that was taken away from us, and I genuinely believe it was just purely out of bad refereeing and not individuals letting us down or anything like that. And that's my honest, genuine, down-to-earth opinion. And I haven't blamed the ref at all this season, and I could have on multiple different occasions. But the game yesterday, I don't think was ref the fair way from start to end. I think it ruined our flow, our momentum 100 times from the decisions he made, and it wasn't like ref the same way throughout. Both of their goals shouldn't have stood. The full-time whistle should have went like 3 minutes before the full-time whistle went, and that's why I'm pissed off, man. That's literally why I'm pissed off. Or I could have just called out these players, I'll be honest with you, because it's easy to call out players. But like, it just feels like a win was stolen from us on a reel.
Just speaking of players really quickly, I just want to read these out because Konate's been dragged, right? I'm going to read out Konate's stats from yesterday. His defensive stats. He made 1 block, 9 clearances, 5 headed clearances, 1 interception, 2 recoveries. He wasn't dribbled past once. He contested 9 duels. So he won 9 duels. He lost 1 duel all game. I repeat, he lost 1 duel all game. He won his ground duel, which he only had 1, and that was 100%. He lost 1 out of 9 aerial duels and was fouled once. And he committed no fouls. Why is Konate being spoken about like he's been weak or poor?
No idea. Because people think Beto
Because of the first goal.
That's
That's the only reason.
The first goal was on Virgil van Dijk.
Mm-hmm. Ibu
By the way,
Konate,
Drift is in the
and
background.
the worst part is the
Damn,
Ibu
can I
Konate
hear your
lost
brother
duel.
like that? That's crazy.
The Ibu Konate lost duel was the one in the 97th minute where he gets pushed in the back, because that's technically classed as a duel. That's the only one he lost all game. Every other one he won. Ibu Konate was fantastic yesterday at what he had to do. I don't know why people are acting like he was getting bullied and getting battered here and everybody. He was great. Van Dijk, they doubled up on Van Dijk. They kept putting Decore and Beto on him, and that was where they were getting slightly more joy. I thought Van Dijk, for the most part, was dealt with them fine. Hence why, outside of their free kick, they didn't have anything going until the last minute of the game, when the goal happens and there was a foul in the build and a corner, which they scored offside. That was it for me.
And we all agree Virgil van Dijk's the best centre back in the world, right? I've not seen people going at Virgil for yesterday. These are Virgil's defensive stats from yesterday. 1 out of 2 tackles won, 1 block, 13 clearances, 5 headed clearances, 0 interceptions, 2 recoveries, and he wasn't dribbled past 1. He won 10 duels. He lost 6 duels. He won 3 out of 4 ground duels, won 7 out of 12 aerial duels, was fouled once and committed 1 foul.
Mm-hmm.
Konate was better than Van Dijk yesterday.
Why is Konate being dragged through the mud?
No, Konate was better than Van Dijk yesterday, but I still think he should have done better for the first goal. That's it. Honestly.
The first goal's on Virgil. Virgil sees everything.
Virgil sees everything. First goal's more of a
I think it's just because Konate is on Beto. Like, he just needs to be aware.
Because he's not on
Konate
Beto.
Konate reacts. Virgil doesn't.
Beto's not Konate's man. Beto runs off the blind side of Konate. That's on the guy behind Konate, which is Van Dijk, to tell him shoulder. And I feel like he doesn't do that until it's too late. That's why Konate, if you watch back the replay, Konate turns back and is almost sort of a bit like, what? Why is he there? And, if you really want to nitpick, Alisson, for it goes in like the only gap that he leaves. But when he tries to stop the one-on-one,
that's a finish that Beto wouldn't repeat again from now to the end of the year.
It wasn't.
By the way, Alisson should have done better for the goal as well.
It wasn't a good finish. It's just
Alisson should have
Alisson
saved
doesn't
it.
make himself as big as he arguably should do. But if you're looking at who is at fault, it's Van Dijk letting Beto run off him. Van Dijk either has to go with Beto, or the moment Beto starts moving, let Konate know that he's making a run. What happens is Van Dijk watches him. Beto gets halfway through it. Van Dijk finally says something, and the ball's played. Konate's on his back foot because he doesn't know anyone's on his shoulder. That for me is where the problem was on that one. The second goal, I'm not blaming anyone because I'm blaming Michael Oliver for that one. But the first goal is just a catalogue of miscommunications after a foul that shouldn't have been.
Agreed. Right, boys. Let's move on to the next topic. If you haven't already, do smash the like button. Joe Gomez. News has come out today that Joe Gomez's injury looks as though it's going to be a season-ending injury. It looks as though he might not feature for the rest of the season. Obviously, there's more reports to come out, more conclusions, but it looks as though the worry is that he won't play again this season. Let's say that does happen, how worried are you guys that we are just down to 3 centre-backs from now until the end of the season?
I'm worried. I'm worried just because it's Kwanzaa as the option, and I don't think Kwanzaa's had a good
I
game.
don't
this
like
whole
this
year.
Kwanzaa hate, man. Kwanzaa was fine against Lille. Kwanzaa was actually fine against Plymouth, if we're being completely honest.
He weren't.
Kwanzaa was
No,
one of the...
Tom.
No, he
Tom,
was.
wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Nah, he weren't.
Yeah, but that's because you think Kwanzaa's better than Konate, but let's not go there. Now back to the topic. Yes, we do. Back to the topic. The reason why I don't like it is the fact that I just don't want to rely on Kwanzaa at all in any scenario. Like I just don't. I'll be honest with you. I just think like Konate and Van Dijk are just levels above him, and I just don't trust Kwanzaa right now. Like his criticism is completely justified. This whole year, I don't think he's had a good game, like an elite game this whole year. Like he's been okay in spurts, but he's made a lot of mistakes. I trust Konate of 100%, but I just don't trust his fitness. I hope he's fit for 3 months for the first time, like in his career, will be great. But yeah, this does worry me because Gomez is someone that I do trust just based off of his experience, and I'd go as far to say as if God forbid Konate gets injured, then we have to play someone else. I'd rather play Endo next to Van Dijk than play Kwanzaa next to Van Dijk, and that's just me being dead honest. Like I genuinely trust Endo a lot more than I do like Kwanzaa. And with Joe Gomez, it just feels so bad because he's just back from injury and he was actually having a little bit of a resurgence this season. He's having a very good season, in my opinion, Joe Gomez. And it feels bad that he's like out till the end of the year. It just feels like genuinely dreadful, and I don't like it. I just don't like it at all. And I hope, whether it's Kwanzaa playing or Endo playing, we can keep it together because we really need Konate to just be there. And now, good thing is we are out of the FA Cup, so we just have one Carabao Cup game left, and after that we have, of course, the knockout stages, and we've got the Premier League. So, if you could just play 2 games a week for the next 20 games, we should be good, essentially, for the next 22 games or whatever. In 3 months, we should be good, should be sound to go, and, Konate is a player as well. One thing we have to keep in mind, Konate is a player we need for the big games as well. Like, if I'm coming up against the Haaland, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you bring me Kwanzaa to Haaland, I'm going to be shitting myself, I'll be honest with you. Like, that's just a duel I'm not willing to see. If I just don't know, like, I'd rather see Endo against Haaland than see Kwanzaa against Haaland because I know at least Endo could outsmart him once or twice. So, yeah, I'm just I like Van Dijk, I like Konate, I like Gomez this season. I even like Endo at centre back, but Kwanzaa is just he had our trust, by the way, last year. Like we're not gonna deny this. Last year under Klopp, he was very good. He had our trust. He had for the most part good games, but he lost our trust this season. And to take this a step further, I think he lost Slot's trust because he subbed him off 45 minutes against Ipswich. He came into the season willing to start Kwanzaa ahead of Konate. 45 minutes against Ipswich, and he's like, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. And I think that's
I also feel, though, that Kwanzaa's getting judged harshly. Young players do have these dips in confidence. And the one thing I will say is how many times has Kwanzaa got to partner Virgil van Dijk this year? The majority of the games he plays, he's partnering an Endo at centre-back or a Joe Gomez. Every centre-back gets more confident when they're partnering Virgil van Dijk. Everyone's level goes up. Quanza's best game this season was Lille at home when he was partnering Virgil van Dijk. Quanza was brilliant that game, all things considered. Nothing got past him.
We're talking about Lille here.
A Champions League team, and again,
I'd rather play Lille than Aston Villa.
No, but the bar that we have for Quanza games this season isn't very high. This is my point that I'm making. I understand Jarell Quanza's not been as good as he was last year. But do I think if we had to call upon him for 3 games, could he do it? Could we get a solid level of performance out of him? I do. Do I think he will benefit next year from a loan potentially to get his confidence back that he lost? 100%. But I do think I do trust him to step in for 2 or 3 games if it's needed. I know that he has the ability. It's just about the mentality and the confidence. And I think that would improve if he's playing alongside Virgil van Dijk.
Okay, but Tom, here's the thing. In March, do we have time for someone with no confidence?
In March, we do, because we only play 1 Premier League game and it's Southampton at home.
Oh my God, you're so like you respond always to the to remind me of
Hassam,
you remind me of myself in a relationship where she sends a whole paragraph and I respond to the least relevant part. So let me change the question now. Do you have time in February, happy now, where we don't have just 1 game, for someone with no confidence? Is that a good enough question now?
Not ideally, but you can make it work.
Wrong and
ideal,
strong.
But you can make it work. But
wrong and strong. Tom Little.
Right. So what do you want me to say? No, we should not play Jarell Quanza. We should just go.
Yes, that's what you should say. You should say, I'd rather play Endo over there. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I wouldn't, though. I'd rather play the centre back than the DM.
Say that again.
I wouldn't, though, because I'd rather play the centre back in position than the DM out of position.
So I think 2 things can be right at the same time. I think, Tom, you're right. I do think it has been a bit excessive with Quanza. I'm seeing people saying he's crap and sell him this, that, and the other. I think that's going over the top. However, I will say at the moment, he's not trustworthy. Whether it's down to confidence, whether it's down to playing ability, whatever, he doesn't fill you with confidence when he plays at the moment. If that's the case, that spreads through the rest of the team. I don't think it's a coincidence that when Virgil and Konate are back there, we as a team play better, because the rest of the team know that if stuff goes bad in the midfield, then we have the insurance policy. In the same way, there's more composure, it seems, when Alisson plays in goals than when Kelleher does. And Kelleher's a fantastic goalkeeper in his own right. I look at Quanza and I don't even think he needs a loan. I just think we as a fan base need to just chill out with him. Like, we put him on such a pedestal last season that he was never even going to match our expectations going into this season. I think that was the main issue. We as a fan base treated him like he was already a 3rd choice or even a starting centre-back. Realistically, last season, he should have been a 5th choice centre-back. Matip gets injured, so he gets bumped up. Gomez has to play left-back because Tsimikas and Robbo are out of the team. And then he becomes 3rd choice centre-back. For me, he's a 5th choice centre-back as of right now. Doesn't mean he can't become a starter in the future. Doesn't mean he can't become the guy in the future. But as of right now, the team that's trying to win the league, he can't be a mainstay in this team. And my worry is if Konate picks up an injury, or even worse, Virgil does, I think it can swing the whole race and the whole balance of the team and the Premier League. Drift, I don't know if you agree or disagree.
It depends when it is. Depends when that injury will be.
I definitely agree that losing Ibu or Verge is going to be major. So we have to pray that doesn't happen. But that could be said, I guess, for all of the big teams. If you lose like 1 or 2 of your main centre-backs, it's a massive issue. I think it's a little bit harsh. I agree with Tom slightly in terms of, I do think Quanza's played better than he's played worse this season. But a few games this season that have been really bad is what's sticking in people's memory. I do agree with that. I think Quanza's actually gone about his business quite well for the majority of the times he's played. But he has had 3 or 4 times where he's been like bad. I looked it up quickly while you lot were talking. He's made 15 appearances this season, but only played 890 minutes, which equates to 59 minutes a game if you average it out. And we know there's been quite a few games where he's finished the 90. So a lot of those appearances are just like the end of the game, right? 10, 20 minutes or something at the end of games. So I think he's probably played a little better than people are giving him credit for. And then last season, I think he earned the right for the hype. I don't think it was people just being stupid when they were hyping him. A little bit like at the moment, if you look at Arsenal, for example, and they're looking at, obviously they've gone way overboard because that's what they do. But you look at their 2 youngsters that have just come through, they're getting deserved hype, right? Arsenal fans have took it too far, but they have performed very well when they've played, giving a reason for Arsenal fans to be optimistic about them in the future. And I think Kwanzaa did that with us. I think he earned the right to be hyped. I think he had a really, really good debut first team season last year. And we weren't just looking at him and going, oh, yeah, he's great because he had like 10 minutes and then we lost our minds. He played a lot of football last year. And apart from the mistake at Old Trafford, was really good for the majority of the time. So I think he earned the right to get the hype he got. So I think I agree that I guess if you're trying to be the best team in the world, 5th choice is where he should be. But I don't think that's because he's not good enough. I just think that's because a team like Liverpool should just always have like world-class centre-backs, and he's nowhere near world-class yet. What Ibu and Virgil obviously are. And Joey would be if he wasn't injury-prone. So I personally think we should still buy somebody and make him 5th choice. I agree with Cal on that one. But I don't think that we can't rely on him if we need to for a little while. I think he'll eventually get himself back to where he was before. And Endo is a good option. Endo is a good option. Well.
I've just looked at his last game. So Kwanzaa this season.
So you both would trust Kwanzaa ahead of Endo?
Yes, I would.
It wouldn't necessarily be ahead of him, Hassam. It would be more like, let's not do what we did with Klopp when we did the whole like Hendo and Flacco and that was playing centre back or whatever. Let's just play the centre back at centre back. Do you get what I mean? And then if it's not going well, then we're like, oh, fuck it, we got to bring in Endo.
Can I just throw a crazy idea? If, God forbid, the scenario that we said happened, would you play Robertson left centre back, Van Dijk right centre back?
Oh my!
And play Tsimikas left back.
Right. I'm moving too many players out of the preferred goal.
Sam, take that back, bro. Take that back.
Too many. I mean, I was just looking at Kwanzaa's stuff. If you look at his partners this season,
listen,
Kwanzaa,
I'm just, it's a Kwanzaa thing. But go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
but
Give us the made up stats. Go on.
I've already been attacked for this, Hassan, by the way.
No,
so you're going to get
Kwanzaa's most used partner this season at centre back's Endo. That's the guy who's played the most minutes with at centre back.
Yeah, and Endo looked better than him every single game.
You know who's second most? Robertson. Sorry, it's Gomez and then Robertson. Robertson's the 3rd centre back. He's played the most minutes.
Oh, Andy.
Like Andy
Robertson.
Virgil van Dijk alongside Jarell Kwanzaa. Am I going to say that Jarell Kwanzaa is all of a sudden going to be performing at a very, very...
Is it fair to say depends the opponent? Is that fair?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I wouldn't... Okay, so let's use the next 2 games. I'm going to be very objective and fair. If Kwanzaa has to play against Wolves, I'm not shitting myself. But if Kwanzaa has to play Villa away, I am shitting myself. Okay, happy now, everyone? I don't trust a Kwanzaa against a Watkins or a Haaland. Okay, but if we're coming up against Wolves and it's like Strand Larsen, I'm like, okay, Kwanzaa can handle it.
So Hassam, let's say we got to play City. We play City at the Etihad and Kanati's not available. Who are you playing out of Endo or Kwanzaa?
Endo, hell yeah, I'm playing Endo.
Kwanzaa all day.
Listen, I'm trusting Endo's IQ alone to handle Haaland a bit more.
Haaland would do unspeakable things to Endo.
IQ is utterly irrelevant when the 6'4" man starts sprinting at you.
Callum Kwanzaa likes blondes.
Physically and pace-wise, I would be definitely worried about Endo against Haaland.
Endo would get absolutely destroyed against Haaland.
But Hassan might have a point that he would use more intelligence to make his tackles rather than physically. He wouldn't be trying to get involved physically. He'd be stepping off a second and using more of intelligence to make the tackle.
I don't think it's down to how much.
And also the scenario Drifty brought up is if both centre backs are injured, that's different. I'm not talking about playing 2 DMs. I'm talking about, listen, okay, I've got Virgil there. So like the guy is still there, right? And I just need to choose him one partner. Do I go with the intelligence and the experience? Or do I go with the potential, get his confidence up type player? I would rather just go with IQ and experience because Endo's been there, done that. He's played in the Asian Cup high pressure moment for Japan. He's played high pressure moments for us. Like, he's an experienced player. So I'd rather play Endo at centre back just based off of experience in that scenario, God forbid.
Or what if we play Endo in midfield and we drop Grav into centre back who's done a good job when he's played there for us this season.
But
So
so by the way,
we're
Endo's
moving too many
not
players.
6. For anyone in the chat, Endo's not 6 foot tall. By the way,
He's like
Endo is
5'10".
not 6 foot tall. He's
But,
5'10".
no, he must be about 5'9", 5'10".
You know who
good
was
at
also
the
5'9", 5'10"? Fabio Cannavaro.
that might be the worst thing I've heard Sam say.
That
You've
is
not just
shameless
tried
to
to
say.
imply.
Wataru Endo, my baller.
baller.
My baller, Wataru. Doesn't DM Lily Phillips on Instagram. Let's fucking go. My
Oh,
baller.
my
Big up
God.
Wataru Endo.
No,
Imagine if
I
Kwanzaa
like
confuses
Endo.
Haaland for a blondie. Like, it would be real bad. Also, you
I
lied.
really
Tom.
like.
I don't
Endo.
tell you he
I
made
think
up
Endo's
stats.
been,
Sam, I don't
You're a
know why-
liar.
I don't know why you bothered. I don't know why you
No,
bothered.
but you're a liar, Tom. Guys, I'm going to call out Tom. 1 second.
Right,
Drifty
okay.
account. You're a liar. Did I not say he's going to make up stats? Van Dijk and Kwanzaa played more together than with Robertson.
Oh, sorry, I forgot the Lille game.
You're a
Sorry, I
liar.
forgot the Lille game.
You're a
So
liar,
it's
mate.
four- It's
Good
4.
Tom.
Don't lie. Don't lie on
Oh,
Kopish.
It is a
Yeah?
30. It is a. I think it's a
This is
35
pound for
minute.
pound the best Liverpool channel, so respect yourself. Don't
Right.
make up
Yes,
shit up.
sorry, I made the mistake, but it doesn't take away from the power of the stats. The fact that Kwanzaa has played 35 minutes less. You know, the difference between him and Virgil van Dijk and him and Andy Robertson at centre back is 35 minutes.
Where did Endo play most of his career, Mr. Thomas Little?
I don't know. I didn't watch him at Uro
At
or
centre
Red
back?
Dragons.
That's where.
Shout out
That's
to our brother
great.
Jamie Phillips. He's right. He knows
Thank
what
you,
I'm
Jamie.
talking about.
Fantastic. And Fabinho played most of his career at right back before he came to us.
Facts, Tom. It's not where you've come
Yeah.
from. It's where you're at now.
Well, we've
Yeah,
got that
Endo's-
option. We've got the
Endo's a
option
good-
of either or, right? Both of our DMs can play at centre back pretty well. We've seen this season, Endo and Gravenberch, when they've been asked to
I
play.
just
They've
don't
done
want
a
to use
pretty
the DM
good
at
job.
centre.
So
I'd rather just use the centre back at centre back, though. I
no, I
think
hear you, Tom. I hear
Yeah,
you. I hear
it's-
you.
I
I get it.
don't
And
like the
think
idea of
Kwanzaa will
moving
get
too
better
many
with
players out of
confidence.
position. Like I get what you're saying. Gravenberch, when he's played centre back against Forest and against Fulham, he's done well and gives you a different dynamic because you can almost leave Van Dijk 1-on-1. But in the same breath, you're moving your best DM out of position for a guy that isn't trusted in DM, and then you're just moving too many pieces out of position. I'd rather keep as many players in their best position as possible and use the squad options. Then for me, that involves Kwanzaa. Now, I'd back him to step up. The thing, young players have these blips. I think if he knew he was going to be the guy playing, that gives you a level of confidence. And even if Sam's worried about, the fact Haaland's blonde, he seems to want to get touch tight with blondes, so I doubt he'd let Haaland out his sight.
That's a bad thing, getting touch tight with Haaland, because pace.
Yes,
But
yeah.
pow, like he'd just be running the other way, mate. It's a bad thing. You get me? Just so you know.
I didn't look. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that situation. Losing Gomez is a big blow, especially since he's versatile in a number of positions. So not only have we lost a bit of centre back depth, we've lost emergency full back depth as well. So
Yeah,
you know,
that's a major blow, man. Does it say what the injury is, Cal?
No, I believe it's
the
hamstring.
It's the hamstring again. He's going
Oh,
for
the
scan.
same one that he pulled before. Shit.
Yeah, not ideal. Not
Oh,
ideal. Right.
No,
So
and you
look,
know what's crazy? I feel a little bit responsible for it because I remember I jinxed it when I said since the beginning of last season, Joey's actually been fit the whole time. And then look, now he goes down. So for fuck's sake.
I don't think you jinxed it. I don't think. Listen, the only person that jinxes stuff is Callum Sanderson, not you. So we're good.
full name.
Listen, whatever me, Tom, and Drifty says doesn't change the outcome. It's just Callum. And he has a track record. Because when someone has a track record, you have to believe the track record. I'm sorry. Imagine he said Kvaratskhelia to Liverpool. We got Ornstein Bomba 5 minutes later. It's crazy. Man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
so
no,
he's
that
the
was
only one with
wild.
that jinx.
I tell you what, I saw him come on the other day for PSG and he looks a little rusty though. I don't know what's going on with
No,
Kvaratskhelia.
he actually he scored a brilliant goal the other day for them. He'll be
He
fine.
looks a little rusty, but I'll be honest with you, in a game like yesterday, you know why I was pissed off? In a game like Everton, this guy could get the ball, dribble past 6 players and put it top bins. He just has that, like, you remember when I was talking just earlier on?
Bold of you to assume he was allowed to dribble past 6 players. He'd get hacked down by one of Michael Oliver and go play on.
Listen, before Drifty joined the stream, I was talking about like clutch moments and all that, and you know, like I was talking about, just putting your balls on the table, and I think Kvaratskhelia is that type of player. He can give you moments, and I'll be honest, we need a moments player other than Mo. Like at this point in time, we say, okay, Mo, you get it. We know you're him and stuff. I just wanted someone else to just can take the game by the scruff of the neck and just.
Gives you those, though.
And to be fair, no one did it yesterday. I'm talking about yesterday specifically. No one did it yesterday. That's why I'm giving so much praise to McAllister, because even the goal, right? The Mo Salah cross is amazing, yes. But McAllister's run into the penalty box.
And the time.
By the way, he could have passed it to Salah and just stood there. Like your position is midfield, but he took the risk and he ran into the penalty box, and Mo found him and he scored. So I think this is the thing that's a difference maker. We can't have players hiding in games, if you would like. I'd rather a player get the ball, take a risk, and the risk not paying off than a player just hiding. I dislike that. I think Diaz was doing a bit of that yesterday. Gakpo was doing a bit of that yesterday. I didn't like it because I read that as well. I really rate Gakpo highly, specifically this season. I think this is like his breakout year, so I expect better. But regardless, we'll see, man. I hope they get their confidence back up against Wolves. I hope no surprises. We go to Villa, do our job, and we'll see what Leicester and West Ham have for us.
Right now, winning isn't for the sake of winning, even though that part's obvious, if you get what I mean. Like, the 3 points are a must. We need to win because we need to win. I think winning right now is more important for just battering the confidence of anybody who thinks that they can catch us. That's what we need to do right now, because we can win this league without actually playing well all the way through, as long as we just maintain a point lead long enough for them to lose their ability to think they can catch us. Because right now, Nottingham Forest, Arsenal, they'll be looking at it and they'll be thinking, ooh, we can catch Liverpool if we maintain our form. Because 7 points isn't a massive gap. It would feel big if we were the team who was losing the 7 point lead. So we was Arsenal and we flipped it. It would feel like a big lead. But when you have the lead, you realize it's not as big as you think it is. So what we have to do is we have to beat Wolves, maintain the 7. We have to beat Villa, maintain the 7. And every time we win a game that's difficult, Arsenal go, oh, for fuck's sake. And then they'll lose their motivation. I never forget an interview that Bernardo Silva did after we won the league in 1920. And he said it wasn't even that they were like however many points behind or whatever stage it was that made them lose their confidence. It was just the fact that we just kept winning games that they thought we would drop points in, and then they gave up in the end. I mean, that was a bit different because we just flew away with the league that year. But I remember he said by like January, they just gave up. They were like, we're not catching them. We've got to do that to Arsenal now. We've got to just keep winning for Arsenal to just give up. Oh, for fuck's sake. And then concentrate on Champions League or whatever else they have. And then that way, if we do slip up, they've already slipped up. So that win against Wolves is an absolute must. And as difficult as it's going to be, we have to beat Villa away. We have to win a difficult game to knock their confidence.
And by the way, just to prove Drifty's point correct, yesterday on my watch along in the 96th minute when it was 2-1, I had Arsenal fans just coming in my chat going like, congratulations on the league. Fully just fucking given up, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, we will see, man. We will see. Hopefully Leicester have something for us.
I was going to just say, you do know by the end of the weekend, we could be 10 points clear in the league.
And it
now, obviously, there's
4 points.
No, you're right. We could also be 4 points, but I'd say there's probably more chance that we go 10 points clear than we go 4 points clear, or we are 4 points clear.
No, bro. They've got Leicester.
No, they've got Leicester.
They've got Leicester, bro. That's a guaranteed 3 points.
It's not guaranteed.
Maybe West Ham the following week, Cal. You might be right. West Ham will be a bit guaranteed.
Leicester's not guaranteed. They have just lost their main striker. They've not played for a little while, so they're going to be out of rhythm as well. Leicester is not a given, and Leicester are fighting for their lives at the moment.
But
I'm not
do you know how bad
Leicester are? Yeah, but it's Leicester.
No, I'm not sitting here saying that Arsenal are going to win, by the way. But this notion that something can't happen, remember, they are down to
the early kickoff as well. Never back the early kickoff.
I'm just saying it's an early kickoff.
If Leicester win and we beat Wolves, Leicester are out the relegation zone.
You're 100% right, Cal, that Leicester isn't a given, 100%. But they will win that one. The West Ham game, Cal, the following week, even though it's at the Emirates, that'll be a bit more tricky with their player
I
situation.
actually think Arsenal will walk the West Ham game.
I actually think they'll slap West Ham as well. I can't lie to you.
I actually think
I have
No,
more
think
faith in
No,
Leicester
but
than I
Potter's
do
got
West
West
Ham.
Ham more organised. I think that one will be more difficult. Like
I
West
don't
Ham look alright under Potter now. Some of their
If this was
Paqueta
David
and
Moyes
those
West
guys
Ham,
are
I'd be
starting
like,
to play
okay, but not this one.
I could see
It
West Ham
suits-
doing something.
suits West
I
Ham,
could see West Ham
Arsenal.
doing something just because it's at the Emirates, so Arsenal would kind of have to put the impetus on that game. Whereas at Leicester, I know that it's Leicester, but being away from home, you can set up just slightly more cautiously, which is probably what Arsenal want to do. I mean, I understand why you're trying to, will this Leicester stuff. Leicester have won exactly one game in 2025.
I'm
in the
not
Premier
winning
League,
it.
and that
I
was
just-
Tottenham.
I don't think it's a given. I don't think that Leicester game's a given. I really don't.
If
No,
I'm
but
looking at
I
Arsenal
think the
games,
West Ham game's less of a given than the Leicester game, Carl.
think it's
Leicester
the other way around.
Leicester are in the mud compared to
the
West
Arsenal games that we need to look at are Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, and Chelsea back to back to back. Because
They beat Chelsea, Man United. Forest might have something for them.
in
They beat
between
Chelsea,
both
Man
those
United.
games, they've got Champions League as well. So that's a tough 5-game run for them, where they're not going to be able to rest any players. That's what they're the kind of runs you got to look at. Whereas I think us in that time, we play Newcastle. I think.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we play
We've got a
Newcastle.
difficult run as well.
We're the
Yeah.
ones that have the difficult fixtures, you guys.
Yeah.
by
No,
the
no,
way.
no,
Well,
because we both have difficult runs, but they're not at the same time. So our difficult run ends as theirs starts.
They don't have a difficult run, Tom. They just don't stop it.
I'd say Nottingham Forest.
No,
yeah,
Hassan, they
versus
kind
a
of do. They
difficult-
kind of do.
they
Alright,
don't.
we're looking at it because we're thinking that Man United are in the mud, Leicester are think. But as Cal said, Leicester are fighting for their lives. So let's see. I think Potter has got West Ham rejuvenated, and I wouldn't just rule out that they don't think of the West Ham all year. Like Potter is starting to get West Ham to tick. Man United away could be tricky based on just Old Trafford. Do you get what I mean? Even though Man United are in the mud, Arsenal do have this thing where they struggle a bit when they go to Old Trafford. So maybe, and Man United seem to only raise their game for the big teams. If you think about this season, they beat City, they've drawn with Liverpool, and they knocked Arsenal out the FA Cup, but then they've lost to Crystal. So they seem to be able to motivate themselves for the bigger games. So they may have a draw in there at home against Arsenal. They might have enough to get a draw in there. And what was the other team, Tom? There was another team that was quite difficult.
So they got Nottingham
Forest away.
Forest. Nottingham Forest away.
Forest.
Yeah, but
away,
that's
Yeah.
the game that I actually think is a difficult fixture. Forest away.
Yeah, but
I don't think the rest are difficult.
Yeah, but Hassan,
And here's the thing with
that's
Man
at-
United.
that's at the
If
start.
they're
Though.
playing, 1 second, Tom, let me speak, brother. Let me explain it to you. You're so rattled. I don't know why today.
I was
Don't worry.
just giving you context.
Kwanzaa doesn't like you. He likes blonde.
Nottingham Forest is the first game of that run. So if they
Should have
lose
dyed
that
your hair
game-
blonde. Anyway, when it comes to,
Fuck's sake. If they
when
lose
it
that
comes
first
to this
game, the
conversation-
confidence could go. That's all I'm saying.
I'll tell you this. Look, if it's Man United at the Emirates, I would back them more. Problem is, when Man United play at Old Trafford, they have this whole where Man United were the biggest club in the world type thing, and they just want to attack. And you just know they're going to get destroyed if they attack Arsenal. So I don't. Chelsea are shit anyway. And unfortunately, they've already played at the Bridge. So this game's going to be at the Emirates. So that's going to be an easy win for them. I think their difficult fixtures right now are only 2 games. Forest away and Liverpool away. Other than that, I think they've got a breeze almost. Like their other 12 games. And that's why when I was speaking to Callum earlier, I said, listen, the next 2 games, they drop points and I'll be like, okay, we're in a good place. So that's what I meant.
Boys, all right, fair dues. Right, let's move on to the last topic of the show. Mo Salah. I think he's broken another record. He becomes the first player in Premier League history to achieve 23 GA in away games at this stage of it, or in general. I don't think anyone's achieved 21 GA in a season away from home. He's done it already, if I'm not mistaken. Once again, we saw his value yesterday. Scores a goal, gets an assist, effectively draws us the game, should have won us the game. I hate to ask this question again, especially with Gakpo not showing up yesterday. Do we need to find a way of getting our attackers to do more? Gakpo, I think, has contributed more than enough this season so far. Diaz has done it in spurts or in patches, but not consistently enough. Jota hasn't.
Diaz game
Nunes
was a
hasn't.
good 2 months to start the season, and it's just not turned up bar Christmas.
Well, I think Diaz has scored in 5 Premier League games this season, but coincidentally, he's on the same amount of goals as Cody Gakpo, which again shows it's what I've been saying about stats. I'd rather have Gakpo scoring over over a period of games rather than just in a concentrated period. Jota hasn't delivered, Nunes hasn't delivered, and Chiesa is in such a basement I've never seen before that he can't even make the bench.
He's not allowed to make matchday squads.
He's not allowed to. Do we need to fix our attack between now and the end of the season?
So here's the thing. When you've got an absolute beast of a world-class player like Salah, everything is going to seem a little like pale in comparison. So I think if we take ourselves away from that just for a second, like Mo is the guy, there's no two ways about it. And then we just assess the rest of our forwards. In the league, Cody and Diaz have both got 8 each, which I don't think is bad. I know it's not amazing, especially when you compare it to Salah, but that's not bad. 8 each, that's 16 goals from left wing between those two, which if one player had the 16 goals would be like good, right? Like I think we can all say that would be good.
One player doesn't though, Drift. And again, it's the whole thing with Diaz. He scored those 8 in 5 games. We're on 23 or 24 games so far this season.
What in the Premier League only?
Yeah, he scored 5 in 5 games this season.
Whereas
Cody went on a run where he scored like every week for like 6 or 7 games.
Gakpo scored like the last 10 Anfield games, and Diaz this season, I mean, he's got in the Premier League 10 goal contributions.
I mean, in the Champions League, all of our forwards are on the same. We've got Mo, Diaz, and Gakpo all on 3 goals. So in the Champions League, they're holding weight with Salah.
But again, all of Diaz's came against Bayer Leverkusen, whereas Salah and Gakpo was spread out across 3 separate games.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
This thing, if you can guarantee me Diaz is going to have a good game, I'll put him in the team. But the fact of the matter is, he's still incredibly patchy, and when he's not giving me the goals, he's not offering me anything. He's not great outside of his patchy finishing. He doesn't really get involved in the game. Ironically, I'd say the guy that you want to play up front at the minute is Nunes, just because he's the only guy that we can actually play off at the minute. He's not going to score me many because he's not got confidence in front of goal, but I can at least bounce Gakpo and Salah off him and bring others into play with his game.
Yeah.
Can't do that off the other two.
100%.
Ultimately, there's not much fixing of this attack you can do for the rest of the season. The fixing of the attack comes in the summer when we need a big overhaul, and we need to go make 1 or 2 marquee signings in that front line, as well as hurry up and tie down Salah to a new contract. That's where you can rebuild that attack. This season, ultimately, your best bet is going to be play Nunes up front, hope that he can provide link up, and then if the game needs a goal towards the last 25 minutes, bring Jota off the bench. That's not the extent of our attack.
You know what the worry is though with doing a full rebuild, Tom, even though I'm not against it. If you look at what City and Arsenal are going to be doing next season, which is going to be a full rebuild, right? City, we know they've got to continue to add at least another 4 or 5 players to get back to where they were. Arsenal are going to have to make a massive decision on whether they get rid of Havertz or upgrade on him, whether they get rid of Martinelli, Trossard. All these players just aren't quite good enough. Sterling's going to leave. I don't want Liverpool doing a massive rebuild at the same time. I'd rather take advantage of stability and try and only make fewer changes so that we're more cohesion and ready to go again. Because if we all make massive changes, who knows who will be the best at adapting? Do you get what I mean? Whereas if we make as little as possible and keep as much cohesion as possible, we can possibly take advantage next year as well.
It's going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult.
The managers earn to rebuild, and the managers earn the trust.
Oh yeah, of course.
In.
I think we should do it slower than that, not all at once. If we do it all at once, we might be in a little bit of a problem getting everybody together.
It swings both ways. So we could get an extra league title. Let's say best case scenario, we get a league title next year because those who start rebuilding, their teams aren't as good. We kept the same core and they ran it back 1 more year. But then that core ages out. The moment City and Arsenal figure it out and we're behind the curve on the rebuild, we've got to start our rebuild now behind the curve. Arsenal and City are flying. They've got a year of these new players getting confidence and cohesion together, we start off further behind than they did against us, or we do it all at the same time, and we're all on pretty much a level playing field in terms of squad cohesion, squad, dynamics, etc., etc. I think that's the way to go. I think the manager's earned the chance to get his players through the door and players that he trusts, because you can see that there's certain positions and certain players that he doesn't trust, and it wouldn't feel right for me, in my opinion, if we made him run it back with certain players, because if we made them have to play next year with a Simicast Robertson left back situation again, he'd lose.
Oh no, I'm talking about the forwards, Tom. I'm talking about the forwards, not the whole.
I don't think you trust any strike. I don't think you trust any of the strikers.
Well, that's what I mean. We only need to change our strikers. It's only Jota and Nunes that we need to change. As long as we give Diaz an increased contract, I think Diaz.
No. Let's not get drawn into the Diaz.
I think that we're leaving out of this whole conversation. If we're talking about the future next year, we can't expect Salah to replicate these numbers next year, you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what people need to this season is an anomaly season. Like, no one has done this before, by the way. I think even in the history of the Prem, 22-14 in 13th February. That's insane. Like, that's an elite season for all of the wingers in Premier League history by May time. Never mind February. So
he's
for all attackers, Hassan. For all attackers.
Yeah, for all attackers, strikers included.
Has everyone crashed out on Diaz all of a sudden? But
no, I'm not crashed out on Diaz. I'll tell you now.
Sam's not allowed to crash out on Diaz. He's got a bounty on him if he does that.
No, it's not even just
I'm allowed to do whatever the hell I want. Callum, talking about I'm not allowed to crash out. I'll crash out on anyone.
The thing is,
let's not go there. Yeah.
Compared to Hassan, I had a backbone this season, and after 5 games, when everyone was going, "Oh, apologise to Diaz, oh my God, look at him, he's back, he's this, he's that." No, because I need to see it more than just 1 month, because this is what Luis Diaz does. In November, he didn't score a Premier League goal between the mid-September and mid-December. We got no Premier League goals.
I'll tell you why. I'd keep Diaz so he can have these 3 fantastic games in August, and then I'd sell him transfer deadline day. Perfect. He'd have the highest money, because the first 3 games he'll start.
So guys, tell me a left winger in the Premier League apart from Gakpo, who's already our player, that's performed better. I know Diaz has played in the middle a lot, but what other left winger has performed better than Diaz?
Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, over the course of this season.
Oh my God, are we going back down there with swap Gordon for Diaz?
Are you telling me you wouldn't?
No, wait.
You wouldn't swap Gordon for Diaz?
You asked the question. You asked who's performed better than him. No one said you'd swap Gordon for him. You asked the question, who's performed better? Gordon in this season. Would you swap him for Gordon? That's a different question.
I don't think Semenyo's good. Semenyo's good, but I don't think he's been better than Diaz.
The problem is with Diaz.
So even if we go with Gakpo and Gordon are the only 2 who've performed better than him, that still means it will be difficult to replace him, right? We just go and get another left winger. Like, it's easy to go and get another left winger.
But why are you talking about just the league? We can talk about the world as well. Like, there are many wingers.
I'm not gonna lie, Kvaratskhelia going PSG is one gone already. I don't think Rafa Leao is anywhere near consistent enough. He'd be
look at the same club. Look at the same club.
What left wingers would we go?
Look at the same club. PSG. Look at PSG. Barcola.
No, but I reckon he'd be just as inconsistent. He's a great talent. Don't get me wrong. But we're looking for
you know what though, Drifty? I can take.
One guy's 29 and one guy's 22.
That's it. I can take the inconsistency off a 22-year-old.
So the 22-year-old who's equal the level of the 29-year-old at his age could do a lot better. Yeah. Tomato. Anyway, point is, listen, I think with the forward line, Callum, back to this season, Callum is right. And that's why I spoke about at the start of the season. Guys, with all due respect, this is not Mo is going to put 10 players on his back and carry them type season. We need players to step up. And I'm going to give you, listen, like a very bad case scenario, God forbid. If Mo has a bad game against Wolves, which he is allowed to have after carrying us for all these games, everyone's going to go, oh, Mo didn't deliver. This is title race, Mo. But we never speak about the rest of them. Like, we have to, at some point in time, expect something from someone. Like, we have how many Premier League games left? Like, 15 Premier League games left. In those 15 games, I'm looking at getting 6 goals from Diaz, 6 goals from Gakpo, 5 from Jota, 6 from Jota, you know. 2 from Nunez. Like I'm expecting for these players to get goals, bro. Like get goals, whether it's clutch, whether it's not clutch. We need players to perform because listen, Mo's not gonna score like 15 and 15 and end the season on 37 goals. Like we need the others to step up as well. Like this is
Yeah.
like
if you ask me, say something. If you ask me to put my money on it, I reckon all of our forwards will get 5 goals or more in all comps between now and the end of the season. I think.
But I'm not talking about all comps. I'm talking about Prem.
No, but we got to include the Champions League because it's one of our aims, right? So
we include the Champions League. I'm getting increased.
I don't know if you lot agree or not, but that's 20 goals between the rest of our forwards outside of Salah. I think we'll get before the end of the season in all comps. 5 each.
But we need in the Champions League. We need more though. Like okay, if we include
but remember, Mo will score as well, bro. So I'm looking at 20 goals from the others, and then whatever Mo contributes as well.
If I'm getting 20 goals,
so how many Champions League? So let's assume we get to the final.
We
got 2 rounds of 16 games, 2 quarterfinal games, 2 semi-final games. That's 6, and a final. That's 7. So we've got. So if
21 games left, 22.
Yeah, if we get to the final. If we get to the final, that's 7 Champions League games, and it's 14 Premier League games. So as 21 games. So 21 games, I can't expect 5 goals all comps in 21 games. I'm expecting like 8. 21. Like just one every 2.
But that would work out though, bro, because it'll be basically a goal a game between now and the end of the season, but spread between the 4 players. So that's very doable. Very doable.
No, but I'm not including that on Nunez. I'm doing Gakpo, Diaz, Jota.
No, because Nunez will contribute. I know you hate him, bro, but he will contribute.
No, I know he will. That's why I said 2 goals. So I said 2 goals in 15. And in the Champions League,
if we can get Jota to even produce half of what he's normally good at, Jota could maybe get us 7 to 10 goals between now and the end of the season.
Jota could get 10 in 21 if he's fit. The 21.
Jota's got a FIFA card coming out soon, so he's not going to be fit for about the next 3 months.
Tom.
I'm so if I look at if to end this season, Lewis, I'm looking at my forwards playing 22 games to end the season and getting 5 goals. The only one that would be somewhat acceptable is
that's really bad. That's a goal in 4. That's bad.
If Diaz gets 5 goals in 22 games, that's sellable. If Jota gets 5 goals in 22 games, it's sellable. Because this is crunch time. This is where I need other guys to step up as well.
Thank you.
But as long as it's the winning goal, bro, you got to add the context to it. If they're winning goals, if they're getting us the 3 points, then it doesn't matter whether they get 20 goals or 5
winning goal.
Like, wouldn't you lot rather Jota got 5 winning goals than 15 goals, but like half of them were in games we won 4-1 and it didn't matter? Like, I'd rather he got 5 winning goals and won us the points.
I'd be honest, I'd rather he scored 15 goals because then we'd win more games if he scored 15 goals.
Factually, we'd win more if he contributed more.
What if he kept getting 2 or 3 goals in 4-1 wins? Do you get what I mean? Like, you could have still won the game without his 2 goals. I'd rather he got 5 winning goals to win the game. Do you know what I mean? That's me personally, but
that's semantics because you could look at that both ways. Obviously, the winning goals are great, but if let's say he scores the 3rd goal in the game where it's a tight 2-1 and it's 97 minutes.
Yeah, and it's 3-1. Yeah.
So that could be kind
of.
I
see.
Also, the semantics of it. For me, I'm of the feeling that apart from Gakpo right now, none of the other forwards have stepped up consistently enough this season to take the burden of Salah. That is a big problem because if Salah drops off on form, or God forbid, even worse, something happens to him, that for me changes the whole dynamic of Liverpool's football team. We
also have to look at the goals for midfield. McAllister's capable. Soboslai's got to step up a little bit as well when it comes to goals. Well. Do you know what I mean? So you look at midfield and you hope they can chip in a little bit as well with some goals. Jones maybe could chip in with a.
Eden Hazard could score a couple of goals.
Yeah, so we got to think about that as well. We got our midfield needs to help out.
I mean,
I think even Slot called out Szoboszlai for the GA thing. People think we're criticizing him. We're not. We're just saying, listen, you're the number 10. Can you get me like 4 goals in 22, 5 goals? I'm not asking much, bro.
Listen, if you want goals from midfield, you need to play Curtis Jones. He's the guy who's got the best GA forwards out in midfield this season.
That's
the thing. Look, I don't think we're in February now, February 14th. I don't think many people know our best front three.
This is
I
another
think
thing. Gerard
I
is right
think
as well.
I think everyone has a slightly different idea on what our best front three is.
What
And
our
we
best
are-
front three? Why are we arguing? There is no argument.
I think
Salah,
I think we know.
Gakpo, easy.
Yeah,
Jota-
and then who's
it's
third?
Jota.
Jota. It's just that Jota's not
I've
fit.
got it as Nunes there at the minute though.
No, but are you doing that based on fitness? Because Jota's twice
No,
the player Nunes is.
it's not on fitness. It's on the fact that who has the most impact on the team at the minute. Jota up front.
Jota's still got more impact.
I
Jota's
trust
double the player.
I trust Jota again. I'm not questioning Jota's ability, but I think Jota's struggling to get into games. I feel like too much of games is passing him by at the minute when he gets his opportunities. You'll go 15 minutes without seeing him get on the ball. And for our number 9 in the system, it was the problem I was having with Diaz yesterday. We almost end up with a fucking black hole out on the edge of the box where there's no one to receive the ball and bring others into play. I think Joss is struggling at that as well.
I don't think we need that in this system. We just need someone to occupy the defender. We don't. We need someone to occupy. The problem we had yesterday was Diaz was coming towards the ball, which meant that Branthwaite and Tarkowski would just stand there and go get it. What are you going to do when you get up there? You just have to pass it back. It's not like you're going to clap a shot from 30 yards or dribble at us because you're receiving the ball and you're in front of the DMs, and then you've got to get past us, and then you've got to get past the goalkeeper. Whereas if Nunes has started, for example, I don't think Nunes gets involved in the play that much. Or better yet, if Jota starts, he don't get involved in the play that much, which means Tarkowski and Branthwaite, they're not as comfortable in the game because they've got to always be looking behind themselves and thinking, is he going to make a run in behind or is he going to do this? This whole notion of Liverpool need a link man or a false 9, we don't need it in this system. We need someone to stretch the play so it gives Szoboszlai more space. It gives McAllister more space. It gives Gravenberch more space. Allow the midfielders to do their thing. We keep on getting caught up in this notion of we've still got Fabinho, Henderson, and Gini, who are all fantastic, by the way, but none of them were creators, and none of them were goal getters, and none of them were technically amazing on the ball. We have 3, no disrespect to Szoboszlai, we've got 2 exceptionally gifted technical players in the midfield and 1 player who on his day is very good technically. We never had that in the past, hence why Firmino was so important. We don't need that now. We need someone who's going to stay on the shoulder of the defense and get goals. I don't need the link-up player. I don't need any of that because we keep the ball so much better. We conserve energy so much better now. We don't need all the flashy stuff. We need someone to score goals. It's simple.
But bro, if that's the case, why did Slot himself say, I want my forward to be a facilitator?
When did he say that?
That was in like
He
the
did,
press
correct,
conference
he
when
said-
about 2 months ago.
He said he wants a striker to be more involved in the play and not just be a
Yeah,
goal scorer.
he doesn't want a guy who's just on the last man.
Ironically, it was when he was
Because he
talking
doesn't
about
have
Nunes.
one. Because he doesn't have one. He doesn't have a goal scorer he can rely on.
No,
That's
no,
why.
but
And that's what I told you guys last week. Joao Pedro. Don't be surprised if we get Joao Pedro. I'm telling you right
Stop the Joao Pedro shit. He's
Hold
not
on,
even
he's
the best option in the Prem.
LDO said he needs to. He said a facilitator and goal scorer. We do not have a striking goal scorer.
Joao Pedro.
Yeah, it will be Pedro, which will make me extremely happy. But I agree with you that Nunes is the one that. So to Tom's point, it's kind of Nunes is the one that more helps to create space in midfield by being more further up the pitch.
Yeah,
I
but he's
said
not a
this
goal
to Matt.
scorer.
No,
I disagree. I think Jota
No,
does
but
that.
then the rest of the team can still tick, bro. Even if he's not putting the ball in the net. Gakpo gets more space when Nunes plays. Salah gets more space when Nunes plays. And Szoboszlai gets more space when Nunes plays. So even if we forget about everyone hating Nunes because he's not good in front of goal, if he just does the job of occupying and the rest capitalize, he's still doing his role. He's still playing a part.
I think Jota does that better, though.
Yeah,
I'm not even talking about
Jota
goal
does that as
scorer.
well.
Not this
I'm
season.
talking
Normally, I
about-
would agree with you, but not this
No,
season.
but I'm
I
not
think
even talking
Tom's
about
right.
goal scoring.
Jota's
I'm talking about
struggling
link
this
up.
year.
I'm not even talking about the goal scoring. I'm talking about link up. If we could get Jota fit for the next 22 games, and he's the player that's dropping deep, collecting the ball, giving the ball to the wingers, creating space. I'm not even talking about finishing ability. I think his overall technique and playing style suits us more than Nunes does.
But I don't.
Without the goal.
Yeah, I would disagree with
This
that.
is where
but
I
he's
agree
been
with Cal.
in
No,
full
I
form.
don't want my striker constantly dropping back because I feel then we end up with a chasm because we tell our wingers to
That's what
start
Slot
wide.
wants, mate.
But then, no. So what I want...
How do you
I'm saying
facilitate
what
from
I
inside
want.
the box?
You don't need to facilitate from inside the box, but you don't need to facilitate from the centre circle either.
Yeah, but Jota
I
doesn't drop
want-
that deep. That's why I prefer him.
What I want is a striker who, when our wingers have the ball, or when our attacking midfielders have the ball, they can play it into him. He can hold it up and either turn on it and go himself, or lay it off to a runner coming up and
Who is
playing
this?
off, and then be that threat.
Who is this you're talking
We
about?
don't
Sorry,
have
Tom?
that. We don't
Oh.
have that. We don't have that in the squad. You have to make the best of the bad situation. If you could combine what Jota and Nunes do, that's what you want. You want what Nunes does outside of goal scoring and what Jota does with goal scoring. But we don't have that. So how do you manage that?
Jota.
I personally feel no, because Jota's not doing enough against the centre backs at the minute. I feel like any time he's in a duel, he's not winning them.
But even with what you're saying, Tom, I hear it. Jota has more goals than Nunes this season, and Jota's played far less minutes.
Yes, and I get that. And like I said, this is not the ideal situation. For me, if you want to get the most out of your top goal scorers this season, which is Salah and Gakpo, you play Nunes up front. If, with 25, 30 minutes to go in that game, you're not really getting them involved anyway, and Nunes, and you need a goal, you bring Diogo Jota on, and you get your goal from Diogo Jota then. But I feel that ultimately this team is better served at the minute with Nunes starting, because we end up being more structured with him as the striker. We have someone as a focal point to play off of and to focus on. Whereas I felt like there was times yesterday against Everton where we had the ball about 10 yards in their half, and there was no one between their right back and left back. It was basic. We just had a U. Our team was set up in a U.
Yeah.
And that was why we end up getting the situations where it's out to the winger, back to the fullback, back to the centre back, across, up, back. That doesn't happen if you've got a striker in that position in the middle. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to play it into the striker, he's going to Cruyff turn and then bang it top corner, no. But what it means is the centre mids that were allowed to shuttle because they didn't have to worry about what was behind them can't do that as well. Gaps open up, you can then feed it to the midfielder, who can then feed it to the striker or the winger, and you break teams down that way. We did not.
But everything you're saying, I think Jota does better. Everything. Forget goal scoring. Everything you just said, I think Jota does better. Forget the goals.
I don't think he's doing it better.
Normally, Hassam, you're right, but this season Jota's been off. I don't know what it is, but Jota's been off this season.
Yeah, he's been injured, but when he's played, I don't think he's
even when he's
Yeah,
played,
before he
bro,
got
I
injured
think
this
he's
time, he
been
wasn't
off.
great.
Look,
before he got injured.
before
I
the
think he's
Tosin
been
injury, before the Tosin injury, right? Before the Tosin injury, before like the injury happened against Chelsea, I don't think any of us were complaining about Jota in terms of link-up play, the way he was playing. And once again, I'm not making my argument based off of goal scoring, so I'm not saying Jota's a better goal scorer than Nunes because we all agree. It's just a pointless argument. I'm talking about link-up play. Do I think that Jota links up the play and creates spaces better for his other two wingers? Yes. And I think what helps Jota is he's quite nifty on the ball. So he's not like a Joga Bonito dribbler, but at the same time, it's not like he's chasing his first touch. He's in the middle. He can dribble every now and then. He can get past the player. I think he's good with both of his feet. He's good with the left foot and the right foot. I mean, yesterday, I think he got past two Everton players just purely left foot, even though he's a right-footed player. And I think him being in the right position at the right time helps create the space for the others. So I think that in itself is a helpful factor in terms of that. So I prefer Jota's link-up play even more than Nunes' link-up play, to be honest with you.
I think you've got to look at across the past month, because we're at the point at the time in the season when you've got to.
Yeah, let's look across the past month that Jota didn't play in because he was fucking injured.
Yes.
Well done.
Right, Hassam, let me finish my point first. You have to look
so
across the
intelligent,
past month.
Anthony.
You have to look across the past month because we're at the point in the season where form is what matters. You need to play the players who have confidence and who are in form. Diogo Jota, as much as I would like him to reach those levels that he.
Sorry, Callum, did you just hear that? I'm gonna let you bypass it. Do you hear what he just said?
I'm not. I'm gonna let him finish and then.
No, but you heard what he just said. What did he just say?
He said that play the better players in form at the moment. I don't think Nunes is in form.
No.
I don't
No,
think
no,
any
no,
of
no,
our
no,
forwards
no,
are
no, no, no,
informed.
no. This
but he's the
refers to
most
our previous
informed.
argument. He knows why he's smiling. Why didn't you apply that
don't.
energy to Konsa, mister?
Apply it to what?
This is
Conte?
the time to play players in form and players who have confidence already. But you didn't say that about Konsa.
Because I've got no other option to play centre back. I don't want to play players
There you
out of
are.
position. That was the
There you
very big point I
Sorry.
made. If
Well,
I didn't
Faro
want a
Endo, I'm
centre
sorry.
back to partner, I would play them instead of Quanta. But the only other centre back who's played 13 minutes this season is a guy on even less confidence than Quanta because he got sent off 4 minutes into his debut. So I'm not
I
exactly.
apologize, Endo. Apologize.
No. I don't want to play a DM at centre back. I've made that abundantly clear throughout the whole stream. Matt, at the end of the day, I think Nunes, since Brentford, has been the best striker option that we've got. I'm not saying he's been good, because none of the striker options we've had this season have been good for a consistent period. But for the past month and a half, Nunes has been the best bet. The team looks a little bit better when he's there. So Arnie said in the press conference, we're starting to get Nunes involved more. We're starting to benefit from Nunes. That's not me saying Nunes should be here next year. He is still the first on the chopping block in the summer. But for the time being, I think Liverpool are a better team when Nunes is the number 9. And until I see otherwise, I'm not going to think differently. If Jota comes on against Wolves, or Jota starts against Wolves, and I see a fantastic performance, then yeah, I might change my mind. But right now, I've got to go off the form. And the form is Liverpool are a better team when Nunes is there. And ultimately, the second goal yesterday that Salah scores, Nunes has a big part to play in it. He actually shows something I didn't know he had: intelligence and composure, and didn't try and swivel and shoot, and instead played the smart pass and laid it off to Curtis Jones. For me, he's the best striker that we've got at the minute. That is not what I want to be saying about Liverpool at this point in the season. I hate it that I'm saying a striker with 4 goals is the best striking option that we've got, but the fact of the matter is he's the best striking option that we've got. And I would rather have Jota coming on for 20 minutes to go to sit in the box and pounce on chances than have Nunes being tasked to do the same thing.
Guys, as well, statistically, Diaz isn't. I mean, maybe it's probably very similar, but I don't actually think Anthony Gordon is having a better season than Diaz statistically. So
He is. I went through
Diaz,
he's got 6 goals and 5 assists in the
and
Prem.
Diaz has got 8 goals and 2 assists in 350 minutes less. So statistically, Diaz.
But one is playing for Newcastle, the other is playing for Liverpool.
Yeah,
no, Newcastle are a very good team. We can't run that narrative anymore.
No, but they're not us. We're the best team in Europe.
Yeah, but Newcastle's a really good team, so it's not like he's playing with scrubs.
And he's been playing centre forward, and Isak has been out for a decent amount of this season, which means Gordon didn't have anyone up there who could really play with at a point.
No, Isak hasn't missed hardly any football this year, bro. Isak's played the majority of the games.
I think you'll find Isak got injured towards the beginning of the season.
Yeah, Isak's missed. I think Isak's missed like 4 or 5 games in all comps, and when that happened, Anthony Gordon was put up front. Because I know he played up front.
Yeah. I know there's been like Isak's played 22
he played
games
up front against Man City.
Like Isak's played 22 Prem games. Gordon's played 23, so they played together the whole season. Like, I'm just saying. I think, and I'm not even saying it to put down Gordon. Gordon's been doing well. I'm just saying it to make people realize. I think they're piling on Diaz a bit too much.
No, but again, I'm not piling on Diaz though, because you've got to look. You've got to look at the spread again. 5 games. You've got to look at the spread again. So Anthony Gordon has 11 goals and assists this season, and I don't think there's been a game that there might have been 1 or 2 games where Gordon got multiple in one game. So that shows to me that Gordon is spreading his out across the season and having more impact in more games. Anthony Gordon has went this entire season without registering more than 1 GA a game, but that means that out of the 11, because he's actually got more, he's got 15 goals and assists this season in 15 games. It's not been a case of he's got 3 in 1 game and hasn't scored for 2 months. That's the gripe with Diaz. It's not that Diaz doesn't get numbers. Diaz has got the numbers this year, but it's not been consistent enough.
But the context to add to that, though, bro, is that's because they don't have Salah and Gakpo. So, yes, if we only had Diaz, who was our goal contributor, the way Newcastle have only got Gordon outside of obviously Isak.
but
Then
we just
I
said
would
it-
totally get where you're coming from, but that is put against the fact that we've got Gakpo and Salah, so Diaz isn't relied upon or needed to be as much as that, and obviously his role in the team will be slightly different. So do you get what I mean? You got to add context both ways. Gordon is the only one being relied upon at Newcastle. We've got Gakpo, we've got Salah. Diaz isn't
Gordon is
needing
not the only
to
one
be
being
the
relied upon at Newcastle, though.
conquering.
He's not
Sorry,
the
say
only
that
one being
again,
relied. He's not the only one being relied at Newcastle, though. They've got Isak for
Yeah,
one.
Outside of
Main goal.
Isak, Isak
Alexander
and
Isak,
Gordon.
Alexander Isak is there. Mohamed Salah. I'm just saying in terms of their focal point in their attack.
Yeah.
Anthony Gordon is their version of Gakpo. Do you know who their version of Diaz is? Jacob fucking Murphy, a guy who comes in fits and spurts, gets you 2 goals and assists in a game, and then doesn't do anything for 3 months. That is the
Whoa.
level that
We
we're
say
at.
that Jacob Murphy in the
This
Premier.
season, he's actually been pretty good to be.
Jacob Murphy again's got more. GA than Diaz.
Jacob Murphy's got more GA this season in the Premier League than Diaz. I apologise, Jacob. I apologise. My heart goes out to you. You've got 8 assists this season and 4 goals. That's more than what Diaz has got. This is why I'm not accepting this notion that Gordon and Diaz have been close. Gordon has been much better in a worse team, having more impact on games more consistently. That's what we're after. The reason why Gakpo stands out ahead of the other guys this season, even though numbers are similar, is its consistency. I'm getting it every game from pretty much.
But what we're doing then is we're downplaying how well Diaz plays just because he never scored. Because there's plenty games that he plays well and doesn't score. So that means we're only equating Diaz playing well to scoring a goal. Then
No, we're not. We're saying that even if you play well, you still have to contribute throughout a season. There's been games where Gakpo's played well and he still gets a goal or an assist. There's games where Mo plays well and he gets goals and assists. If you're playing in a Liverpool team that create this amount of chances and you're not contributing for goals and assists when you are playing a good amount of minutes, and then you've got other players who are doing that in lesser teams, then you have to look at said player.
He's been asked to do a different job for Liverpool.
He scored in 5 Premier League games all season. 5.
Yeah,
that's not good enough.
But here's the thing that I think you lot always forget: you can't ask. And in an ideal world, yes. In a fantasy world, yes. But in reality, you don't have 5 or 6 forwards and they all get 15, 20 goals.
But we're not
so
asking
when we're
for that.
judging these people, we always go, Nunes don't have enough. Jota doesn't have enough. Diaz doesn't have enough. Only Gakpo and Salah putting up numbers. It's like, well, go and name me any other club that's got 5 players who scores 20 goals.
But we're not asking for 5 players. We're asking for a third player to contribute. We're not asking for 5 players.
But name me how many other teams even have 2 players who get that many goals.
Just named you Newcastle.
No, because Murphy's got a lot of assists, but he ain't got 20 goals.
If Diaz was giving me 8, if Diaz gave me Murphy numbers this season in terms of 8 assists and 4 goals, I wouldn't have anywhere near the anger.
Because been spread out over
Jacob
the
Murphy's have been game after game after game after game after game. The gripe with Diaz is, even though there are numbers there, I don't think me, Callum, or Hassan have said his numbers are poor. The gripe is they are not consistent.
But his performances
and then 3 months, they're not.
So even though he doesn't score or assist regularly, his performance, he never comes off the field and hasn't played well, tried hard, done what was asked of him.
So do you think Diaz played well yesterday?
No, I mean, no, not really yesterday. Obviously, I don't mean every single game, but I mean at least 70% of the time Diaz played. What
game in 2025 has Diaz left the pitch and you've went, oh, he was fantastic today?
I'd have to go through them. I wipe games out.
I'll list you the games now. Everton away, no. Plymouth away, no.
No, he was poor, but that game's standing in the mind now because he was really poor in that game. What's the other
Bournemouth away?
He was good in that game.
I thought he had a decent influence in that game. Ipswich at home, no.
No, I think he was good in that game. Hold on.
Ipswich.
Did he start down the middle in the Ipswich game?
Yes.
Yeah. I think everybody played relatively well against Ipswich.
I don't think Diaz played well in that game. Lille at home, he was on the left that day, and he was all right. Wasn't great, but again, It was.
But again, what is the metric by which you're judging it? Is it the overall performance, or is it just how he contributed to goals?
I mean, considering his main
Because
job,
I
is to
think a lot of
contribute
the
to
stuff
goals,
that
that's a
he
big
does
part of it.
isn't noticeable. Like the tracking back and the creating space and making runs and stuff, it's not noticeable.
That's the
That's
bare
basic
minimum, though.
that's the bare
Gakpo does
minimum.
that and still
But
gets
if that's what
numbers
he's being
at a
asked to
consistent
do,
ratio.
then we can't judge him on it. Though.
He's also being asked to get goals and assists.
You
Yeah.
can't tell me on
you can't get it all.
Gakpo to get goals and
If
assists.
Gakpo
tells
scores
Diaz not
2,
to.
Salah gets 1, but Diaz played well, then it's cool. Diaz don't have to get another 2 goals to go, yeah, Diaz contributed
No, but
today.
if
We won the game.
But Tom's going through the games and showing that he's not playing well in every game.
No, but this is off memory. This isn't facts. We'd have to go back, watch the stats.
But
look
you just
through
said
it,
he's playing well. So, but you just said you wipe games off your memory, and you've just said he's played well in games. Then, so
because as he's saying it, he's reminding me. But we still have to go and look at what we gave him in player ratings.
There's still a couple more games to go through. There's still a couple more games.
This is a lot of memory game we're playing at the moment.
But
during the game, there's not many games when the game finishes, and I'm thinking, Diaz was rubbish today, man. He was crap. He didn't do anything. That doesn't happen regularly.
Brentford away. I don't think any of our attackers, bar Salah, were very good that day, and Nunes, who came off the bench. Like, I don't think Diaz played well.
Yeah. There was quite a lot of games that weren't good.
Nottingham Forest away
wasn't
good. He only came off the bench against Tottenham in the cup, so I'm not going to count that. And the last one, Manchester United at home. No, not good in that one.
But in a lot of these games, a lot of players weren't good as well. So that's another context you have to add. The Brentford game, the United game, like loads of players are crap in these games. So it's not a Diaz issue in that regard.
The Manchester
loads
United
of players,
game,
but it was just a bad performance.
No, but if he's having a bad game, it still is a Diaz. It still is a Diaz.
Gakpo and Salah scored against United.
Yeah, of course. But you still only judge an individual more harshly when the team's playing well and he's playing poor than if everyone's playing crap. Because it's difficult to stand out when everyone's playing crap. We're just having a bad game.
The problem is Salah stood out with bad teams. Gakpo stood out this season when we've not played well.
Matt did it last night.
No, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's a lot easier for you to be drawn into the poorness if everyone's playing poor. It's harder to stand out when everyone's having a bad game because the whole structure of the game is bad.
I disagree.
No one's playing well in the game. It's hard
if you're doing okay and everyone's doing bad, you'd be made out to play out.
No, it's not. Because if it was easy to stand out when you're having a bad game, we'd notice it more. The majority of the time when we're having a bad game, everybody pretty much is just having a bad game.
But if everyone in the team's having a bad game, let's say everyone's having a 4 and you're having a 5 or a 6 out of 10,
you stand out because
you're still standing out, even if you're not having a great game.
Isn't good, so people still won't go. Oh, but he was great, but he was better than everyone.
But you're still standing out. So
yeah, but it's not a level high enough to be rated for because
it's easier to stand out when everyone else around you is playing badly. That's why the whole term big fish with small pond.
Stand out, but not in a way that people want. Not in the way where people are like, wow, that was a really good game from you. Yeah, you might come out and be like, oh, it was better than the
whole
rest.
term, big fish in a little pond, comes from being easier to stand out in a smaller, in a less.
No, but that's different.
The thing is, Drift. The thing is, Drift.
It is, bro, because if you're playing crap for the day, that's a difference from being a lower level. Because you can be a lower level and still be putting in a lot of effort and having a decent game, but you're a lower level. You're a Burnley, you're a Leicester. So you stand out when you're a Maddison because everyone wasn't playing bad. They're just not great players. But you stand out because you're technically good. If the team's playing crap, you get dragged into the negativity because the performance is poor. It's a bad performance. So
you get dragged in if you're having a bad game. It's not
automatic. You can be Grealish at Villa and stand out because everyone isn't playing crap. They're just not a great level.
No, but
they're not playing rubbish.
Just because someone next to you is playing bad doesn't mean that automatically you're going to start playing bad. You have a choice to make. You can determine when you play bad.
Kickball. You know when the team's playing bad, it becomes contagious. Like if the whole team's playing poorly, it rubs off on you, and you start.
No, it rubs off on you if you allow it.
No, but then Drift. Let me ask this then. How many games this season has the whole team played bad?
Probably about a quarter of the games if I was just going off of memory.
A quarter? It's about 4 games.
A fifth or a quarter. No, we've had quite a lot of games that we haven't been that good, but we've still managed to get
a quarter of the games. You're saying like close to 10 games this season. Everyone on the team has played bad.
Well, more people have been poor than they've been good, should I say. Because we haven't been crap at any stage, really, apart from the Man United game that was like ridiculous.
Okay,
I mean, more poor
situations,
performers than good performers.
Let-
Maybe a
let-
fifth
let's-
to a quarter.
let's
So
settle on-
maybe like 7 to 10
let's
games.
take on seven. Let's say 7 games.
Yeah.
Out of those games, how many of those has Salah stepped up? And even though the team, there's been more bad than good, Salah has been good. Salah's been one of the guys you look at and be
From
more
a GA point of view, a lot. From a performance point of view, not that many. So it depends which way you look at it. Because he's always going to GA because he's that type of guy. But we go back and look at his performances. The performance itself was always bumped up by the GA. We will look back and go, yeah, he didn't really play that well, but Salah. He's capable of doing this. And we can't compare Diaz to Salah.
Why?
Like, because Salah's a GOAT. So, like, it's very
He's made
unfair
himself
to
a GOAT.
compare him to Salah.
Bruv, we used to compare Mane to Salah.
Because Mane was a GOAT himself.
We used to compare Bobby to Salah.
Because Bobby was a GOAT as well.
And I want GOATs in this team, bro. So this
It's so
narrative,
difficult to find them, though.
no, you just improve on what you've got. And players
No, I'm not
elevate.
saying we can't do better. I'm saying it's not as easy as you lot think it is to improve on Diaz. People are acting like
it's not
It's
hard
just
to
a
improve
piece
on
of
Diaz.
cake
though.
hard.
to upgrade on Diaz, and it's not.
It's not
I
that hard.
would have absolutely no problem if Liverpool got rid of Diaz this summer and brought in Anthony Gordon to replace him.
I would.
I don't see how that would be a backward step in any shape, way, or form. He's 4 years younger.
It's not a backward step, but it's not a forward step for 75, 80 million.
But I'm also selling Luis Diaz. So I'm effectively trading or paying 10 million quid to swap Anthony Gordon and Luis Diaz.
But wouldn't you rather, if you do that upgrade, it's a massive upgrade?
I think
rather
Gordon
than
is
just
Gordon is a massive upgrade.
Is it even an upgrade?
This is where it comes down to opinion. You don't think Gordon's an upgrade on Diaz. I think he's a massive upgrade with a lot of potential to work with as well. Diaz is 29 and he still plays like a 20.
You guys are never going to agree because Gordon
like
is Scouse. And Tom just wants another Scouser in the team.
No, I don't think it's a massive upgrade, but I think they're at similar level, but because of Gordon's age, there's a potential for him to improve. But there's also a potential that he comes and the lights are too bright for him as well. So there is a risk there.
And then he'd be our forward for the next 4 or 5 years. And I don't think Anthony Gordon is a good enough step up to make the next 4 or 5 years about him. I would rather we try to find someone else and just keep Diaz in the meantime, because Diaz is a good player.
You want to give Diaz a new contract, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Look, let's move on, boys. We're going to sign off here.
Unless you can find me somebody better than Gordon, I'd rather keep Diaz.
Would you take Barcola?
I like him. I think he's good. But again, there's no guarantee he's going to be.
I wanted Barcola from his Lyon days.
There's no guarantees on anyone, though. In the nice spot, the lights could be too bright for anyone joining Liverpool.
And that's the reason why I'm saying I don't know. But if
the lights are too bright for Diaz for half the season, the lights are too bright for Diaz half the season, and he is our player.
If it was someone like Kvaratskhelia, it's worth the risk because you see the tally, you think this is a worthy risk. I don't think Gordon's a worthy risk. Not for 70, 80 million. No chance.
All right, guys, let me help these supers. Josh Byrne, big up yourself for gifting 5 memberships. If you were a recipient of one of those memberships, please do thank Josh for that. You'll Never Walk Alone 2.0 says
Michael Oliver.
Okay. No versus Arsenal. No handball versus Arsenal and flying kick versus City last season. Yep.
You got to remember, guys, that's the best referee this country's got, by the way. As all the commentators like to reiterate and shove down our throats, this is the gold standard for officiating in this country.
Yeah, maybe more like the Brown standard, but cool. Roach Ruiz says, crashing out here, but without Salah, Liverpool would be Spurs. We absolutely wouldn't be Spurs. That crash out's too far, Roach. We wouldn't be.
We wouldn't be Spurs.
We wouldn't be Spurs. We'd be
I think it would be more like Brentford, something like that.
Magnus says, watch the goal back. Nunes just watches Tarkovsky. I'll be honest with you, I have no blame for Nunes in that goal.
Blaming Nunes there is crazy, Magnus.
Yeah,
even
I think that's reaching personally.
That's a regular thing, trying to find a way to blame Nunes.
You'll Never Walk Alone 2.0 says, goalkeeper, defense, mid is solid, attack is all on Salah.
No, that's not true. 2.0. Gakpo is, and so is Diaz, man. I'm sorry. I know we've been arguing about it. Diaz has still played his part this season. It's very disingenuous to say Diaz hasn't played his part.
The last game I think Diaz had a good game without scoring was Bournemouth. So it's not that long ago, but I think that's the last time I've seen him like play well without scoring. Bournemouth.
Mr. Slotball says, "Great show, lads. You never walk alone. Big up yourself."
Big up.
On that note, please, everyone, make sure you are liking the stream. You'll never walk alone 2.0 says, "Need a centre back. Can Kanate play 7 to 8 games in a row?"
I'm gonna pray for it. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray he plays 22 in a row.
No,
beginning of the
but
season.
you can manage it to where Kanate only has to play 4 or 5 in a row potentially with the way this season could go,
Yeah.
and with the way you play.
And he did earlier on in the season. I think before he got that injury against Madrid, I think he played like 10 to 15 games.
He played
in a
11
row.
in a row, which was the longest he's ever managed in his
Yeah,
Liverpool career.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I'm a 4 fucking years in, and the most games I've got in a row from Kanate is 11.
Yeah. Shibu says, "Sam, sorry for earlier comment. Genuinely didn't mean to offend you. Never walk alone. Big up yourself, Shibu."
Big up. Apology accepted.
You'll never walk alone 2.0 says, "Guys, have you guys seen that left wing slot got a final pay shout?" No, I haven't.
Let's not do Eric Ten Hag at Man United settings and go by the Feyenoord team.
Yeah, let's
Go by
not.
players.
Only one I would have taken from Feyenoord is Santiago Jimenez because he is a goal scorer.
Yeah,
He's
he's
no
gone to
longer
AC
at
Milan now. Clark Kent says, What will make you say FSG mean business in the summer transfer window? Big up the panel.
New contract. And
Yeah,
Alex,
new contract,
Alexander Isak, that would be,
Yeah.
you know.
No, do you know what? It wouldn't even be
Business
just
is
Isak,
if we
guys.
spend
It would have
200
to be
million.
Isak and another 2 or 3 top players. Then I would think they mean business. One
Yeah,
player,
200
I wouldn't say they
Yeah,
mean business.
If the only signing we make is Isak, obviously it's not going to be enough. But if you, I think he's on about like a statement signing. Like Isak is the type of statement sign that you're looking at.
Yeah. To
And
swap the squad.
it wouldn't be good if Salah leaves and we get Isak. It would just be
That's my worry about the whole. Oh, Liverpool have interest in Isak. He is.
But
the
we have
Salah
Salah and Isak together, we'd score 300 million goals next year.
Imagine if we just bought the Newcastle front three but replaced Jacob Murphy with Mohamed Salah. Oh my god, it'd be perfect.
Sadiq says, "Big up, fellas, big up, Sadiq. Leicester will summon the skills of Shaolin, Wu-Tang sword style. Also, can you drop the beat for my little son who is 6 months today?" We'll definitely do that, Sadiq. Give me one moment. Get through the rest of these and I'll make sure I do that. Chris says Sobo needs to get in the goals too. Absolutely agree with that.
Pick up Chris as well. Hope you're good.
Velvy says Diaz played striker, left wing, right wing, 10. Cody scored in 6 Premier League games. Yeah.
Cody Gakpo has played less Premier League minutes, and Cody Gakpo is currently on a run of 10 goals and 10 Anfield games in a row. I don't think Diaz has managed a goal like a run of form like that beyond 5 games, and Gakpo's on 10 and counting. So
Big up Val as well for sending Kopish a super chat. You know, self-sustaining model. The money I spent him, he uses on that YouTube super chat.
One of the million says we're gonna sell Nunes wants Saudi, Diaz wants Spain. That's 140 mil. Would you rather get Isak and Son or Semenyo, Pedro Cunha? Yeah.
are we in 2019? Youngman,
Yeah,
Son
like
and
what's like Son on a free or something? Like what Son for 10 million or what exactly?
No, but I think he's done it because obviously if he puts a better player, then you'll obviously pick that option. So he's made it a lesser option to see whether you would rather.
I'm taking Isak and Son.
I'm taking Isak and Callum Sanderson.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
I'm not
Easy.
taking
No, I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy. Semenyo, Pedro, and Diblin would be a very, very good addition to the squad.
That's
I know you
unbelievable.
don't want this Isak thing, but Semenyo, Pedro, and Dibbling is way better. Come on, man.
Drifty, Salah
Sam
touchline
also-
winger, Isak running in behind. Think of the goals we would score.
Dibbling to
Sam-
be understudied to Mocha's most stays. Pedro playing the false nine.
Dibbling's better in the middle anyway. He's
I
better
rate
when he's
Dibbling.
deployed in the middle.
I rate all those players, but Isak.
I rate Semenyo. I have done copious amounts of defensive Mateus Cunha and copious amounts of prop for Mateus Cunha, as Mr. Callum Sanderson would know, because we argue about it every other week. And Brian Mbeumo was another one from the Premier League, a mid-table guy who's got really good numbers, good age, that's the kind of thing. But if Alexander Isak, the best striker in the Premier League, becomes available, you have to go and get him. That is a statement signing. That is a signing to show not only the players that you've got at the club, but any potential players that would look to join. Yeah, we mean business.
No, of course, in a standalone, Isak's that guy. But Semenyo Pedro, and Diblin. It's just better. That's just so much more quality spread out throughout the squad than
Semenyo, Cunha, and Buemo would be really good if we had a first choice front three, but we don't have a first choice front three.
Yeah, we need to improve the strike, because that doesn't improve our situation.
Guys, let's just say for the left wing position, I'd rather have Salah and Isak alone, like play with 10 men, and we're still winning games. Like that combination right there is a combination from hell for defenses.
Let's just say Jota could stay fit. Jota didn't have hamstrings made of Weetabix.
That's too unrealistic, though.
No. I'm just saying for
that's already unrealistic.
Hold on. I'm just saying for argument's sake.
There is a bigger chance of the super chat happening, us signing Rodrigo, than Jota staying fit. Like I'm saying it right now.
If Diogo Jota could stay fit enough to be a first choice striker, then I would say you go and buy 3 mid-table forwards to rotate, develop, and then phase out that stage. But we don't have a number 9. We don't have that guy. We need to buy the starter, and then you can add 2 or 3 bench pieces. I'd rather not buy bench pieces and push them to be a starter.
Yeah, agreed. Red Indian, we are talking about Gordon. Our standards should be the likes of Rodrigo. We're not signing Rodrigo from Real Madrid, man. That must be Matt's burner account as well.
I would like to introduce you to John W. Henry, mate. Yeah, I don't know if you're aware who owns us. John W. Henry.
Plus, I don't think he wants to leave Real Madrid either. Big up Calamantas, as always. LFC Shankly says the FA will review Michael Oliver's post-match report before deciding whether to charge slot or we spoke about it earlier as well.
I would love to know.
Do you lot know what it was that he got the red card for?
Yeah, for saying great game. Yeah, we spoke about it earlier. It's a joke.
Apparently, because he was a little bit more aggressive in the handshake.
Yeah.
Oliver's a pussy. Are you kidding me? The firmer the handshake, the more of a man you are. Everybody knows you get taught how to give a firm,
exactly. That's why Michael Oliver didn't like it. That's why Michael Oliver didn't like it. That's why he panicked.
Yeah. What a pussy.
Drifty just got you demonetized, Callum. It wasn't me.
It's got to be said, man. I'm sorry, it's got to be said. We are taught as young men, make sure that you grip the hand firm. That's what the handshake is about. And Slot gives him a man handshake, and then he's like, red card, too aggressive. The fuck out of here, man. What are we doing?
I reckon we should just push, you know, like how we done with the Diaz offside against Tottenham, where we just pushed for days to get the audio released. I just want the audio released and laugh at Michael Oliver getting insulted by Arnie Sloss.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I want to hear for real. I want to hear it.
Eric says Tom has really grown in his analysis. Big up yourself, Tom.
Don't give him too much credit. He'll start believing his own hype and saying crazy shit, please.
What was the last crazy thing I said?
Oh, Tom, let's not do this, bro.
Stop it.
People, before we sign off, Tom, tell the people where they can find you and support you, bro.
You can find every Tuesday at a random time, ideally at 1:15 on the Don Hassam channel. But I have my own channel, which, you know, I have a plan of a video to release soon. That is being edited. Who knows when that's coming out? We have no idea when that's coming out. So what you need to do is subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So when it does come out, you're there for a historical moment when the channel gets its first upload in over 2 months.
Remember, we've got to drop the beat for Sadiq.
Yeah, I know. Hassan, where can the people find you, bro?
What's this whole drop the beat? I've never heard of this before.
Oh, you'll see it in a minute.
You'll see.
Okay. You can find me on Don Hussam. You get me? Big banner in front of your very own eyes. You get me? And I'm going to tell you why it's Liverpool against the world in 40 minutes' time.
It is. You'll be redirected to that video as well, guys.
You know what, as well? Big ups, Drifty. Drifty said last week you'd make big man calls and would be on the show.
Yeah, made the big man call. And like the guy in the top left. Wow, back-to-back weeks on Kopish, you guys. We fucking made it 4 years later.
There's another week in February, Hassam. There's another Thursday in February. Are they going to make it a hat-trick?
Cal takes credit for today, guys. Cal takes credit for today. He's not that bad, guys. Cal's been getting rushed a lot. Recently. We have to stop
every
rushing
stream Cal. I've been getting.
We have to stop rushing Cal. We have to.
He's a clinical striker, big up, man.
I'm not gonna lie, like he's probably got bruises all on his back, his chest, his legs. Like, he's getting rushed all the time.
Daily. Drift, have you got anything coming up on your channels?
Yeah, do you know what? Obviously, I'll speak with you off camera about it because it's a spontaneous thing that I just thought about during the stream. But if you guys want to come over and big up, I think I might have to do a little breakdown and let's see who is at fault for the goals yesterday. We can go through that footage. So, so if you guys keep an eye out to everyone who is obviously signed up, and you'll see when we set the stream, and hopefully you guys can come and join us. And yeah, I think I might do a little tactical breakdown of that and figure out exactly what went wrong. So look out for that, guys. And then on tomorrow, I will be doing the Brighton-Chelsea game tomorrow as well, guys, which should be interesting. I don't know if you lot think that game will go any other way than the FA Cup game, but Chelsea need to get their lick back on that one. So yeah, that should be a
get a bit of form so they can beat Arsenal.
No, it's true. It's actually true. We need Chelsea to fix up for real. So yeah, should be doing that one with Jamie tomorrow as well. Yeah, big up Scraps. Yeah, me and Jamie should be doing that one tomorrow. So big up JV still in the chat. So yeah, a couple things for you guys in the next few days, man. So looking forward to it. Right. Let me show Hassan what we mean when we celebrate for the people. Big up Sadiq for the little one, 6 months today. And I'm glad the family is blessed, bro.
That's nice.
Birthdays, anniversaries.
I thought Cal was going to start rapping.
I thought Callum was going to start singing. I'm like, what? I really thought Callum was going to start singing, like, drop the beat. I'm waiting, like, you know, boxing and stuff. Like,
nah, I only rap when I get paid for it. That's what us real generals do.
Super chat quick, people. Super chat quick.
Red Indian says, Drift is Cal looking like Pitman from
Yeah,
Cal.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what that
You know
is.
Jesse Pinkman when after he's been kidnapped in Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah. That is me.
Yeah. That's how Cal's looking right now. Just rough. Just
looking
rough. He's getting rushed on a regular. Like he's actually getting rushed on a regular. It's crazy.
Brad says, yes, Hassan, what's your opinion on whoa? We know what the opinion is.
Whoa.
We got the 2 hours.
I just want to say one thing. Listen, you can put up that super chat again. Look, I have no problem responding. Listen, guys, football is an emotional sport. When you're doing a watch along and the game ends the way that it ends, if you've ever been to a stadium, if you've ever been to a football game, a lot worse stuff is said to players, never mind the refs, to referees, to everything. So for everyone to do this whole like cancel culture thing and try to act like they're all like holier than holy, big up to all the people who's like actually honest and said that if they're watching the whole at home and the cameras aren't rolling, they'd say even worse stuff. And you know, if you just search Michael Oliver's name on Twitter, there's 100 times way worse stuff than what I said. So yeah, I insulted him. It was an angry moment. He cost us the game, and yeah, that's about it. So look at
Brad goes on to say he agrees with your opinion. Look,
I need the context of what was said. I will go back and rewatch.
Yeah. You'll have to watch one of the shorts from Hassan. But people, smash the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you go and subscribe to Hassan's channel. Go and subscribe to Tom's channel. We'll be back tomorrow with the morning show and then a preview for Liverpool versus Wolves. So if you don't see us, well, you won't see us until tomorrow, unless some crazy news breaks about anything. Until we do see you tomorrow. Thanks for all watching, joining, and listening. Stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kopish, right, people. Take care.
Peace.